What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 93 of the pre-patch podcast. Where now all we talk about is Teslas and how shitty Destiny 2 is. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. That's the only things that we're gonna talk about.
That's the cast.
So that
And
is
Diablo,
that is
and Diablo 4.
and Diablo 4 and how
Yeah.
amazing Diablo 4 is. So, but welcome in, everybody.
And Sin's transitions.
Wait,
Yo, you transition, Sin?
I
Hey,
knew-
congrats! Hey! Hey!
Yes.
Oh man, I hate you so much.
Congratulations!
Oh God.
Uh,
93 episodes of this shit. Well, welcome in, everybody.
yeah.
It's gonna be a great cast. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, actually, that's a lie. That's a bald-faced fucking lie. We actually really don't have that much. This week's news was fucking pretty shitty. I need the gaming industry to pick it up a little bit. Y'all need to give us some more things because it was actually
true.
pretty light.
Pretty quiet this week.
Yeah, it was not a lot, but we are going to talk
inside
about
informants fell short too.
some pretty good info. And again, if we always need to, we can just go shit on Destiny because they did have their Destiny state of play or state of whatever,
State of the game.
state of the game, and it's still Destiny and nobody's playing it. I'm just it's clickbaity. But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about Remnant 2. We're gonna spend a lot of time talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Because that came out today and Enigma has played it as of today. And then myself and Bill, did you play the early access of that?
Yeah, I played a bit
when
of
it. Was out?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have
Yeah.
all put our hands around the gates of the Bauld, and played around
Firmly
with them tentacles.
grasped it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then always we're going to talk about Twitch and the platform news, all those kind of good things. So it's going to be a good cast. So make sure that you tune in. And if you do miss it, check out us on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or any of your podcast apps. We're going to jump right to it. We're no holds barred. We're getting right into the damn news, nit and gritty as shit. So let's talk about Twitch. And their new news, which is that they're adding a new chat setting to easily adjust your screen reader preferences. And this is so that it will automatically announce chat messages. You can turn off these announcements or settings. Is this like it's just going to read for you?
I think
Is
that's
that
an
what
option
this is
that,
doing?
yeah, I think some streamers use it or have used like a screen, like a reader, a chat reader that like announces it on stream. So I don't know if this is, I guess it's fully integrated now. I don't know much. I feel like they didn't really give you too much on this.
I feel like if
they
Twitch
just kind of
support,
announced it.
if Twitch support is talking about it, then I feel like it would be out there. I don't know. I mean, I don't see anything on here except for
it's
them
out.
saying
pretty sure
that
it
someone's saying it
launched
doesn't
today.
work, and then somebody saying, "Can you please just clear your browser?" It's caching cookies.
Yeah,
weird.
it's
Yeah.
a you problem. It couldn't possibly be a Twitch problem.
Yeah.
No,
Of course
no.
Screen reader auto announce. Yeah, I see it, and we have it check marked.
Yeah. So
There you go.
I'm still curious what the hell it is. Like,
Yeah.
is it an actual screen reader, or are they talking about like it announces and reads shit for you like a TTS, or is it like?
I'm pretty sure. I think.
well, it's what is it going to be? What is it going to read though? I guess you have to have closed
a
captions
chat.
on.
Right.
Wait. So it's making it so it reads chat.
Okay, it's for
It's for
like
the streamer,
people with
right?
no, it's for people with impairment apparently, like
Right.
an impairment of some
But what
sort.
is it reading? Is it reading? It's reading chat.
I'm assuming it's reading chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's collecting all
I
that
don't know.
juicy chat data.
the one thing I
Yeah.
definitely would never want to fucking have read to me is chat.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know about
Right.
if I would want Twitch chat to be read to me, especially if you go into some of these
Like an XQC chat
yeah,
or
like an
something,
XQ
dude.
or like an
Like an
what's it called?
Amaranth
Asmon-
chat?
an
Could you
Asmon
imagine-
Gold chat or something. Yeah.
Could you imagine a
Can
boba
you,
chat and
uh,
what that's going to be like?
Can you think of this for like the future of like Twitch plays Pokemon though? How revolutionary this could possibly be?
Would it be? Because isn't it just going to be like right, up, left, left, throw ball, Like,
So many stats, so many statistics. Somebody could build an AI to play Pokemon for them based off of Twitch plays Pokemon. I'm sure.
I'm gonna start
I mean,
saying
I
in
don't
chat
doubt it.
like Alexa, play Despacito or something. Like,
oh no,
so people
absolutely.
who have
Yeah,
like
people are-
Alexa and shit.
the first thing that's gonna happen is them saying like Xbox turn off or some shit
Yeah.
where it just turns off your
Just
system.
troll
So-
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And so okay, well,
I mean, it's an accessibility feature, so I
yeah,
guess
it's
they
cool. It's just gonna
good-
be
yeah,
it's just gonna
props
be
to- It's
abused.
just gonna be, yeah, oh yeah. Well,
Oh wait,
what
it's
is
an
abused?
accessibility feature.
Is it?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
reading. Yeah.
I mean, I would
believe.
assume so.
That's like the
okay.
purpose for
so,
it. Yeah.
so if you have trouble, like,
If you're visually impaired, you can
Yeah,
have it
okay.
read
Gotcha.
chat
yeah.
messages.
Yeah.
oh,
Right,
well,
again,
There's
comes
good
from-
intentions behind it.
It comes from
Yeah.
wholesome intentions. It's just going to be used
Yeah.
poorly when nothing but spammed inward is going to be across, and now you're going to be yelled at by an
imagine
AI.
it trying to read off a copy pasta.
Like, yeah,
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
It's
Like
great.
one of those
Tyler,
copy
Tyler one
pastas.
chat.
You know, like one of those copy pastas with just a massive schlong. Like,
How is it? What? How does it read that?
Like dash dash
Yeah.
dash
Space.
parenthesis dash dash space 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 dash dash dash.
Oh man,
That'd
I
be
feel
interesting.
bad.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah.
It's one of those updates from Twitch that I'm just like, it's cool and everything, and I'm glad that they have it because I'm sure that there
it's
are
just
people out there
it's
that
just
will
an
use it.
option, right? I
But
guess like
It's a very strange thing for them to be like centering on, especially in their current like landscape. I
I
think
don't know. I
there's-
wouldn't say they're centering on it. I feel like they honestly just kind of like dropped it, but like here's this, and on to the next thing because they didn't really like they announced it and then it was out, and I think they were just kind of like being like, hey, here's this option now, use it if you want. And I don't think they're like really centering on
Maybe.
it too much.
I don't know. I think I'm of the same opinion for both of these. Really, like
God.
the next one that we're gonna talk about. Like, yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I think they're
Oh,
both
yeah.
kind of nothing burgers in the long run. But that's just me.
Nothing burgers.
Well, the other news that Enigma is talking about is the banning of CS:GO skin gambling sponsorships and or sites. Essentially, this comes from Dextaro, and we'll scroll down here so you can kind of see a little bit more of the article. But Twitch basically is now explicitly prohibiting the sponsorship and promotion of CS:GO gambling sites, which I thought they did that a while ago. I thought they like really
I thought
stepped
so
up
too,
that.
man. Like
I guess-
and that after
They-
Phantom Lord, like the whole scenario with Phantom Lord, and like
Yeah,
everyone deep
Twitch-
dived on the gambling sites. I thought they all
Twitch
died
never
off.
Twitch never banned it. It's just that that specific person got in a lot of trouble, and you stopped hearing about it essentially.
What I think happened though is a lot of those sites got investigated and a lot of them shut
Yeah.
down. So there's only a few left. So I'm sure this is just cleaning it up because I'm sure some streamers were bringing it back almost.
I love how Twitch is banning it, but like Steam is just or Valve is just kind of like, whatever. they're not doing anything about it. Like what I mean, I imagine they take a cut, right? They have to make money out of that, correct?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like, don't they make?
Valve
They
is
have to make their
always making
transaction.
money.
Well, don't
from
they make
just
a
case openings.
transactional fee, right? So like, well, I'm just saying, not even the case opening part, but like whenever there is a trade for a monetary value, wouldn't they make?
No, I don't believe so.
I mean, I know that when you do
Like
sell
a
something on the
market
marketplace,
purchase,
yeah.
yes, but
but
a
isn't that how
trade,
they're
no.
going? So are they?
No.
What
I
are they
don't
doing? Are
believe
they
so.
trading for cash outside of the?
Outside of it, probably.
I
That's why
believe
that's
so.
why they're
It-
having these
it's
gambling
it's
sites. yeah.
External means, yeah. A lot of these sites have their own. You put in to the site. They like you upload your skin to the site and send it to like a legit like site bot or whatever, and then it trades it from there.
I don't know. This whole
pretty
world is
sure.
fucking weird. It's just like weird to
Yeah.
me. It's
Anyways.
nuts. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think this is that big because I honestly thought it was dying anyways. But I'm sure there's a select
I guess with
few-
CS2 coming out, it'll probably or CS:GO 2,
Yeah,
it's gonna get
but
picked
it's not
back
like
up.
they're banning case openings, which I think is much larger. Has
Yeah.
a much larger audience than gambling sites do nowadays.
So these are I mean, is there big? I don't know. This is just wild to me. So is there big money
There's
in?
There's huge
It's
money.
huge money.
Huge.
in
no, no,
skins.
no.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in the
CS:GO,
game
so-
in the sites themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah.
massive money.
Just it's the same thing as with Steam. Like Steam makes massive money off these skins too because you have to purchase the crates or whatever to.
But what
to
do
get
you-
them,
They
know?
make their big bank off the crates and then the cut they get from market buys.
How is it what is it that they are gambling? Like, I don't understand. Someone explain to me the gambling process. So I open up a crate. I have skins in CS:GO. So I open up the crate. I get a
If I
skin.
remember correctly, a lot of these sites have like a slot machine vibe to them. The one that I saw a long time ago had a slot machine vibe to them, where like you would do a spin and it would go through, and then there was a
there's
chance
ones
that
that
you
are
get.
slot machines. There's ones that are even professional bets, like you bet on teams, you bet skins on teams,
Gotcha.
and you get a payout. Like, you know, if you win, you get a payout of a certain price, and those skins equate to that price. There's I don't know. There's all kinds now. I'm sure there's even more.
But am I just, where are they getting the skins from? So someone is uploading their skin to say, hey, I want to put my skin on the marketplace.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone
And then
dishes in skins, and it just kind of like fills up this, you know, this like bot or whatever,
yeah.
you know, this log that the site holds all the skins, and then like they can pay out with these skins.
But how do I get paid out if I upload my skin?
You get the trade offer back if you win. Like I used to do the bets on the teams back in the day, not much, but you know, I would upload like 2 skins or whatever, you know, like 90 cents. Boom. All right, I bet on this team, my 90 cents is in. The team wins. All right, sweet. I already had initially traded those 2 skins to the site bot, the Steam bot, and that was controlled by that site. And if I won, that bot would send me a trade offer back with a number of skins that equate to the amount that I won. So it's like,
but you're not getting, so you're not getting cash though.
No. You're getting skins that
equate to value, and then you can sell them for real money
via the Steam marketplace.
Or
the site, or the site. I'm sure there's.
This is just wild to me, man. This is I don't know. It just is crazy.
It's a whole ecosystem.
It is, yeah.
Like I understand like the whole like marketplace, because I've sold like Dota skins and stuff like that on the Steam marketplace for you know 10, 20 up to upwards of 100. I think my biggest one was like $250 or something like that.
Right.
But this idea of like loading those skins into a thing to then gamble this, I don't know. It's like, it's fucking wild. That's just crazy. So, okay. I didn't know it was that big of a market. I did not.
It wasn't, or it isn't anymore. It used to be a lot more prevalent.
It's not as big. Well, I mean, the gambling market is not as big. The Steam skin market is still huge.
The skin market, is still huge.
Yeah, that is never gonna drop like that.
Who out there is buying these fucking skins like this? Like
whales?
As a whale myself, I would not. I can't. I don't know.
14-year-olds with their mom's credit card.
Like, so don't some of these things go for like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
So, for example, Dr. Disrespect got his first knife in CS:GO this week.
Like
he's opened over 2,000 cases and finally got his first knife, and he has had an offer for it for $100,000.
But is that because it was his knife?
No,
I don't know if that's because his knife or
part of it, but
it very well could be.
There are just knives and skins that are worth up over 250,000. I think somebody bought a house with a skin once, if I remember correctly. I read a story.
What?
Somebody
what real estate broker is fucking
for
not recently? Not recently, I can tell you that.
With selling their skin, they bought a house. Are
you telling me I could have bought my Tesla with a fucking skin from CS:GO?
Yeah, man.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
So the highest value skin that I see on the marketplace right now is an op skin, and it has Yep. No, it's Gungnir. It's a different one. Dragonlore used to be the big one. But this is Gungnir, and it is going anywhere from Battle Scarred, which is the worst quality, because you have to remember these skins all come in different variants of quality. From Battle Scarred sold for $8,000, and the factory new one sold for $16,000.
Yeah. But there's also a whole nother aspect of this too, is the float on these skins. Some skins, they can be battle scarred, but have a specific float number. People, you know how like people look for like with money, like cash, they look for matching serial numbers on the cash. There's floats that people look for, like 420, 69, or like, you know, it can be any range of things that give these skins like a value. It's ridiculous.
It's the same thing with an NFT marketplace. Honestly, the NFT marketplace I think took a lot of
inspiration from
CS:GO. And I was actually wrong. The Dragon Lore is still the most expensive skin. It's just not the most expensive all the way down. Factory new Dragon Lore is 16,500. So
isn't there also too like a really bad issue with money laundering through this? Like, wasn't that a thing?
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
That's what the original they got in trouble for.
I mean,
was not necessarily money laundering, but like
I know
the original one they
like,
got in trouble because they kept they were trying to push the gambling onto like a younger audience, but not disclosing the fact that they also owned the company. So any money they were putting into that company was not actually, you know.
Was
there's a pair of sports gloves that are worth 28,000. I just keep finding more and more expensive skins on this Steam analysis.
So, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to my
Are we all gonna become CS:GO streamers?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go to my financial advisor and be like, you know, when they're like, what do you want to invest in? I'm gonna go CS:GO skins, please.
CS:GO skins, let's go right now.
Do you guys remember when
I want that Gungnir knife right now, bro?
Can I pull a loan out in CS:GO skins?
Well, okay, so a couple things, right? Two things. One, do you guys remember back in the day? Like, this was way back in the day. You know, it's just like early, like right after, I don't know, like maybe like 4 or 5 years after the success of WoW, that the government ran programs and spec ops inside of WoW because that terrorists were using it as a cell platform to like recruit and train and like plan out stuff and communicate.
Pretty sure I remember hearing about this story.
I do too.
And then also on the just the ludicrous thing of as far as like e-commerce money in the fucking state of the world. Post Malone, which I know Post Malone is a huge Magic the Gathering fan, and he is an avid collector. $2.6 million for the ring, the one ring.
Yep.
Yeah, that some guy had and pulled. It was like in 98, like I don't know, it was like almost perfect condition. 2.6. It sold yesterday, I think. The Post Malone
won the jackpot, pretty much a lottery.
Yeah,
pulling that card.
I just that kind of shit cracks me up whenever it's like you were saying, like the government doing like terrorist things on World of Warcraft, because there's been a couple of those instances of like the government or world organizations in general finding like certain things inside of World of Warcraft. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this. I think that you probably do. Sin. You remember when the Dark Knights first released and the pestilent plague or whatever, that was actually like the CDC ran an entire test as to why, like, the spread of a disease throughout a large like community.
So wait a minit,
essentially
maybe COVID was actually the government using the plague that they found in WoW.
Learn anything apparently.
So yeah, no, I know that too. In like Second Life, that was a big issue with cults. They had cults were a huge thing in Second Life. And
those became real
Linden
cults
Labs
too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They're
still
only cults in the game, but they became real cults.
They were.
I hate cults.
I can't remember if Second Life is still up and running in the thing. I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Is it?
It is. Yeah.
Because I know like there's a really great documentary on Second Life, and I think it's like life inside the game or something like that on Netflix, and it talks about people that like how Second Life has made people wealthy by like these marketplaces inside, but also have like destroyed people's marriages because they find these relationships and they're cheating on one another inside of Second Life. It's fucking weird, man. Like I don't know. Gaming is a odd little place.
Then I need you to load up the Second Life like and watch
not on stream.
I mean, it should be fine.
Is it okay? I don't know. The first thing I pulled up was a shirtless man and
that's not a shirtless man.
That makes sense.
That's a dog. Bro.
You'll have to send it.
Furry.
That is not.
It's a furry. That's why I wanted Sin to see it. I wanted the reaction.
Well, I mean, you could send it into the drive.
I already have.
Okay, all right. Give me a second, chat. We'll take a look at it. See, this is why you need to be here live so you can see these kind of things. Where did you send it at? No,
podcast
don't
discussion.
No, don't put it into the news links. Our
Don't worry about it. It's not. We're
it's
spending
not,
too much time.
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not important enough.
my one experience on Second Life when I was really young is I got on there and I accidentally wandered into a virtual Adam and Eve store.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it.
That was my
So
one and only
you learned about the
experience.
birds and the bees from Adam and Eve inside of fucking Second Life. It's great. Oh my god!
Man.
All right, well, moving on to the YouTube is the next platform we'll talk about. This is actually, I think, big. I think this is huge. This is one of the biggest things that has come out for the live streaming side for in a while. And YouTube Shorts is now rolling out live vertical streaming content. So as you are live, the stream will be showcased on Shorts. But how are they doing the vertical? Like, I don't understand how they're implementing the vertical slice. Like, because
so you have to do it on your end. They're just allowing people to have the option to stream in normal horizontal or stream through the YouTube Shorts medium in a vertical space.
So I wonder then if Adium will allow you to then stream via, I guess, a key, right? Like you could just use it through Adium through OBS.
Same thing.
Nice.
Yep. Same way you would do a TikTok live stream. It's just allowing you to do it through the YouTube Shorts algorithm.
It's honestly a very shocking development on YouTube's part. I was not expecting them to come out with something
I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
But they have been like really pushing the YouTube Shorts front, especially with TikTok being as popular as it is and the potential.
And it's not a bad idea, man. Like,
no, they've kind of been doing what Kick has been doing with Twitch, but with TikTok, but a lot less like spicy about it.
Hey, and you know what this is just gonna give us? Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's absolutely.
No. Gang.
No.
She's gonna be on there. I told Scruffy about this, but I don't know if you guys saw, but she's in some trouble right now because she was on a live and her kid I guess was doing something that she did not like, and she broke character in the middle of a live and went and beat that kid's ass. Like not on camera, but like you just hear her being like she's like, yes, stop it right now. You stop. And then like you just see her get up, and then like the kid just is like, no.
You hear the Christmas story. Mom, why? What'd I do?
Oh, no,
exactly like that, actually.
She's not the only one that broke character too. There was another one that has been doing the NPC streams as Miles Morales. I don't know if
that guy though, when he broke character, he broke character on
off.
Dude, he deserved to get that guy's kick that dude's ass. Like that guy was being
a racist asshole. Like he deserved everything. The funniest part to me is not of what that guy did, what the streamer did. He broke character. It was like cursing that guy off, like, like just going off on that guy, and then immediately comes back for like, hey guys, like Peter Parker told me to do this.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
Immediately, like the switch flipped, man. It's
dude,
awesome.
I would have loved chat to start like donating more to be like right hook, uppercut, KO. Been great.
Well, what would have been even better is if you would have started saying the lines from Spider-Man, like in Spider-Man 2, like the combat lines that they have in Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man.
That would have been great.
Justice has been served.
Oh man. So anyway, YouTube Shorts, you can now stream live to it again. I think that's just a big plus for live streaming as well as for Shorts. So kudos to them on that one. Kick also came out with some interesting updates and actually some new features that are, again, I think also big wins and huge for the platform. So the big things that came to Kick are one, chat replay on VODs, which seems stupid. I don't know why that wasn't a thing anyway, but that is now available, so you'll be able to see the chat replay. You're also going to the biggest thing is you can clip now. Like they have a full-blown and integrated clipping system that you do not have to go through a third party to do.
I'm so glad that they actually listened to our podcast and came out with this feature right after the podcast. Like
100%
worked perfectly.
It's absolutely because of us and because of Scruffy. So thank you to all the Kick streamers that are out there. You can thank the Pre-Patch Podcast and Scruffy. We'll expect our we're not going to take 5%, we'll just take 2%. So 2% of all of your clips, the income from that comes to us. Okay. So
yeah, thank you.
So then I think the other thing was that, I think actually that might have been it. I think it was just, the download button. We also added downloads for clipping.
For
so you can
streamers?
so you can download the clips.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice.
Yep.
That's good.
So so that is the big things coming to kick on there. So again, I don't think anybody's shocked, right? Like these are the things that we said needed to be done. They needed to continue to even though this is not innovation, this is just adding basics.
They're pushing it out and they're keeping up.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So those are that. So going on to what we've been playing, this is where we're probably going to spend a good majority of our time because there's some really awesome news. I do want to talk about Remnant first, as it kind of came out first, and then we will talk about Baldur's Gate 3 as it was obviously just released. So we all have played Remnant 2. Bill, you've put in you and Enigma have put in the most time for sure into the game, correct?
I think I have 24 hours on it right now.
Yeah, Enigma's put in more time than I have. I've probably put around 12.
Okay. And you're playing solo mainly, Bill?
Yeah, I tried to play co-op and it didn't work out well. I do plan on playing co-op with a few of my PS5 friends, but the PC, at least with my PC right now, it's a no-go.
You were saying that you were having
weird about that, man.
Some issues.
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
both myself and Bill have pretty much comparable PCs. Like there's a little bit of a difference between the two of us. I think I have a little bit better CPU than he does, but predominantly most of our PC is pretty much the same. Yeah. And he's having such a drastic.
I mean, you were watching as it was happening.
Yeah, he's having such a drastic change. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like
regardless
shaders or what, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing mainly solo on the PS5 and having a very good experience with it there. The PC, if you go through the Steam reviews, it's got notable PC performance issues depending on people's rigs. I don't know what's wrong with my rig that's causing it, but I was fine in the tutorial. There's a little bit of lag in the hub world when everybody loaded in, but as soon as we loaded into the Fae area, we loaded into the castle with everybody with his glowing wings and stuff. It went to shit. It was like it was like dropping like below 30 FPS, very inconsistent.
Wow.
Like
crazy.
2 to 3 second stutter periods. I could not effectively play the game, so I had to refund it on PC.
It's very weird. I don't know what's going on with it. I will say that there is a lot of people that are having issues with it, performance wise on PC.
It probably just needs some early.
It's not shocking
to optimize the PC port because
it seems.
I've not had performance issues per se, but I've had some graphical issues.
Same
just
here.
weird little things. So they just need to, clean it up a little bit. It seems.
Nobody's really surprised that it's a broken PC port. We don't get good PC ports these days.
Definitely developed in the mind of consoles.
Yeah,
that's apparent.
That's the main reason why I buy stuff on PS5 these days. That plus I can get a disc. So, but I've been having a really good time with it in the solo. I picked the handlers that way I could have a doggo, split aggro a little bit, and I have a doggo, so it was a no-brainer, honestly.
Good solo class.
Yeah.
So
no, it's
what are everybody's thoughts? I mean, I've played the least of this. I did play some, not much. I mean, we didn't even get through the first, I think, even level that night that I was playing with you guys.
We got close. That boss was the end boss.
That boss is fucking rough, man. Like it is insane. So
I mean,
good.
Did you have anything else to say?
No, I was gonna the limited amount of stuff that I was gonna say kind of about this is if you never played Remnant 1, I think, and coming into to play Remnant 2, I think it'll be you're probably in for a really good treat. Not nothing. I don't want to say I don't think there's anything bad about this game like that I've experienced so far. Right, the little bit I've played, it's a shooter. It's fun. What they did on the first one, they just basically amplified that, but it does feel, in my mind, very, very, very close to the first one. Like that's my only kind of restraint. Which the few changes I wanted were just mild things. But you guys go ahead. Like I said, you've put more time into it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to bring up. I think that the biggest issue that both you and Scruffy, I think I can speak for both of you, is like, I think you guys were kind of looking forward to it being more of like a
RPG,
random
like ARPG,
yeah, like random stats, everything like that, with the weapons and everything, and yeah, it would have been great. I think that would have been an awesome addition because it would have definitely helped with replayability because. I've been watching and playing with Crow Templar a couple times, and like he's done with the game. I think he put in it's like a 30 some odd hour. If you do everything in
It's
in
about
the
the
specific
first one
areas.
too.
Yeah,
I believe.
so it's not
comparable to the
terrible, but
first, yeah.
like that's the one thing that I can say is that like replayability with this in comparison to like Remnant 1, I feel like this has a lot more content in each map zone compared to Remnant 1. Remnant 1, like usually you had like maybe 2 variations on bosses for each map. On this one, there's like 3, 4. So they've added a good 50% more content on each map,
Can I
roughly.
put a note in there too? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
you had sparked a thought. Is I feel like the maps also feel less linear than the first one.
For
The maps
sure.
are-
And
the
I
maps
I
are
feel like they're
huge.
bigger. I
Yeah.
feel like they're a lot bigger than they were.
and they
Yeah,
split off into multiple areas that you can
for
pick
sure.
and choose
Yeah.
what you want to do. So that's a plus.
I will say one of the best parts about Remnant, and I will say this from the first one, and they've drawn it back over into Remnant 2, is the fucking puzzles, man. The puzzles are legitimately some of the
Yeah, those
best
are
that
definitely
I've
fun,
played
for sure.
in a very long time. Remnant 1 had great puzzles. This one, they just exponentially better in all aspects for the most part.
Yeah.
There are a couple of like little instances where like there's I don't know if it's a bug or if it's like a situation of just like we weren't able to out DPS it, but that we did run into one. You remember that sewer level that we went to, Scruff, the
Yeah.
other night, where we found that the glowing numbers on the wall?
Yeah.
That myself and Crow were doing that same sewer, and it had a differentiation in it. It had a boss mob in it that was like those those were rats or whatever they're called. You know, the big
Yeah.
bulking rat dudes.
I fought one of those. Yeah.
You know,
They're
we had one. Granted, we were playing on Apocalypse, and he was like 30 levels above me, obviously. So you know, take that as you will. But we
But
were
you've
not able to
unlocked Apocalypse
DPS.
already?
He has, yeah. I was playing
okay.
on his because he's beat the game already. So
Gotcha.
but we were playing that, and then we were fighting that monster, and every time we would get it to a certain point in health, it would run away, run into one of those sewer grates, and then heal completely back up and come back out.
Oh wow.
So
Sorry,
it was I don't know if it was like a bug that it was healing completely, or if it was more of yeah. So if it's a bug, then that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, we were just getting completely wrecked by that, and that was the first time really with Remnant 2 that I felt like
that's the thing.
Like, damn, this fucking sucks.
You think, like,
you know,
what are we doing wrong? Like, how do we
yeah.
stop it from?
No, 100%. Because I was like, maybe it's because I'm in here. Maybe I'm making the entire thing harder for these guys. You know, so I dipped out, and they were like, nah, that didn't help at all. Like, in fact, it probably made it worse.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing like kind of concern that I had with it. But like in conjunction to like the randomness and like the ARPG feel and wanting those random bits of like re-rolls on weapons and everything like that, I was kind of in that same vein as you guys were, where I was like, I think that would be a good addition for them. I still think it would be a good addition for them. I'm really hoping that they.
You don't think it would be too much?
Well, that's what I was about to say. I still think it would be a good point for them to look at, but I also think that like the game as it is with all the puzzles, they've added a ton of weapons, they've added a ton of armors. Like the first one didn't have a lot in the way of weapons, right? This one I feel has a lot more weapons and armor.
I mean, even from just the store that you can buy, I think the store in the hub world that you can buy weapons from has the same amount of weapons that the base game had overall.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's one of those things where I understand where you're coming from, but I also look at it as like they added more weapons, they added more armor types. I also feel like they have a lot more customization with the archetype system, the class system that they added in. That offers a ton of customization because not only on top of your weapons and armor, now you have an entire class that does things differently, and they have a ton of archetypes. I am so shocked with how many archetypes they actually have. If you guys don't want spoilers, click away right now. Obviously, I'll only be like a minute, maybe two, talking about these archetypes. But you know, I'm giving you fair warning. Spoilers are ahead, so we'll give you like a couple of seconds until the end of me talking. Essentially, that we'll do that. So, one archetype that I was really impressed with is the Archon archetype. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet or not, or if you guys
the summoner.
No, the Archon is like an end game archetype. Okay. the Archon, in order to get the Archon, you have to do you have to like wear a very specific set of gear, right? You have to wear Ford's gear, you have to wear corrupted gear, and you have to do a certain specific type of progression, right? In order to open this. the the developers have actually come out and said that basically the only way that they expected people to find out about the Archon is for data mining, right? By doing data mining, they said that there was no way that they could fight against people data mining. So in order to basically reward people for data mining, they made a class that like breaks the entire game. Archon, to get into Archon, you have to go into the back rooms. They actually have a backrooms level.
What
A
do you mean,
yellow
like,
backrooms level.
You mean like a way to spot data miners?
No, a way to reward them. They rewarded them. Yeah, they reward data miners for data mining that with the information of how to obtain this specific class, right? And again, in order to get the class, you have to wear a specific set of equipment, and then you can open up the back rooms. We've talked about the back rooms before. That yellow, like dingy.
Oh yeah,
that's a level in this game.
That's in this. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna immediately need to go there.
So it's crazy, man. They've got a lot of different. If you guys haven't, come on back. We're done spoilers. There's a ton of new archetypes. So I'm
that's beyond just the base class.
That's beyond just the base class.
Like unlock them.
Stuff that you have to unlock through doing like quests. Like me and Scruffy were on a quest the other night that unlocked one that was like an entire.
We didn't unlock.
We haven't done it yet, but we're on a quest to do so. We're almost there. But like, yeah, we played for like what, like 45 minutes to an hour doing that, just that specific quest line.
Yeah, hour or so.
Because we went up in the tower and then we went into the sanctorium or whatever it was, and we were doing all that shit. So
yeah. So,
but I'm extremely impressed with it, man. I am extremely impressed.
It's getting great ratings. I mean, I know that. I know minus the bug issues that or playability issues and some things, but like I think it took
the game itself. It's pretty solid,
originally the original game took 4 months, if I'm not mistaken, to get, or 3 months or something like that, to get to 4 million units sold, and this did it in 3 days.
Right.
It's doing extremely well.
Well, the original also wasn't on consoles, was it? I didn't think it was.
It was on consoles.
No, it was on consoles.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. I again, and I don't want anybody to think to be, because I am saying this, like it when you play it, it's it feels good, it's fun.
I'll give my thoughts real quick too, because I'm in agreement with you for the most part too, Sin, because I also do feel like Remnant 2 does feel like just an extension of the first Remnant, but I'm not even saying that in a bad way. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a very good thing. It should feel like the first Remnant, just with more, and of course I was also a proponent on wanting them to do that kind of like randomized style. I think it would have worked, especially for a sequel. But the fact that they didn't, and they just added a lot more content to the game too. I mean, there's still enough for you. There's still enough for everybody to enjoy this game. I don't think, it's a bad thing that they didn't choose to do this. I think they had their eyes set, and they wanted to go a certain way with this game. I think they nailed it, honestly.
One thing I'll interject in there as well is like I think, so this is not. I mean, it is this. It's a second version of Remnant, right? But this is not the second game that they've made specifically in the Remnant genre, right?
Right.
It is the third. The second game they made in the Remnant genre. This is I can't prove it, but maybe this is why they didn't go down that route of like changing it up super much from the original Remnant 1, like architect style and gameplay style, right? The second game that they made, they changed up so much. It was more of a Souls-like game with melee only, and I think it did not do well. Like it was not received well.
Like not even Remnant.
The pre to Remnant, yeah. The second game they made, the prequel to Remnant, was a completely different game. I think so. It was something.
Remnant
weird.
from the Ashes was the one with the shooting. Chronos before the Ashes was
before the Ashes was the Souls like.
And Chronos before the Ashes came out before Remnant from the Ashes
did.
It was
I thought
actually
that it
the original.
after.
They re-released it on VR.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Yeah.
it came out in 2015. Remnant from the Ashes came out in 2019.
I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
I had never even heard of Remnant. I never even heard that before the Remnant from the Ashes came out. And then I realized, like, oh,
yeah, Remnant from the Ashes 2019.
Well, that kind of fucks my idea.
So it's just been an evolution from that point. 2016 was when Cronus Before the Ashes, and you're right. It was just it was almost generic to a point.
Yeah.
Souls-like style game, and it did not review well. It's got a 6 out of 10 on Steam right now.
From Before the Ashes to From the Ashes, it was a major upgrade from what I understand. And that, honestly, I can also see that being a reason why they didn't change it up from Remnant from the Ashes to Remnant 2. Is they had a formula, and why...
They just wanted to stick to it. Honestly, as well, like
broken, you know?
Like balancing and everything like that when it comes to these kinds of games, and when it comes to like the ARPG style, I think it would be more of a headache for them than just putting whatever was in the game, making it decently powered, and going with it. You know, that's my opinion, at least.
And I don't know. I feel like
I think it would have been bloat.
I don't know. To me, I think they could have kept everything the same, the exact way that they're doing, and just the weapons
I don't know.
Drop. Make it
I don't know about bloat. I don't know about bloat, but I think it would have been just artificially like extending gameplay in the
because some of these things are so hard to get one of, like that it would take you hours to be able to get one of these, and then you would have to do it over and over again with no guarantee that you would get that spin on it again.
Yeah, that class that we were talking about, just barely, not the first one, but the one that me and Scruffy were doing in the asylum right there, right?
Yeah,
like that was an hour of gameplay time essentially, and we still don't have it completely, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, if I didn't know that class was there, I would never know. Like there's nothing pointing me in the direction that, hey, there's a class here, you know, or there's an unlock here, you know. So
yeah, I don't know.
I do want to.
Got is a solid product.
I understand where you're coming from. Like I think that I would have been very happy if it was like that. Like I would have been very happy if it was more of an ARPG. But I'm very happy with how it is right now. I think that the attention to detail that they put in with a lot of the weapons and armor sets, it really shows. Whereas like I think that maybe if they went down the action RPG route where it was just kind of a random like a random chance at getting a certain specific style, type of weapon with random affixes.
Yeah, they would have to do it as like random drops from things instead
it would just be a little weird. It wouldn't be more centered, like it wouldn't be more specified to the area,
and I guess this way too, there is a point to be made that they have more control over the balance of the game,
right?
That's what I was saying earlier.
Kind of system, there would be a lot of balancing issues depending on like certain roles of weapons and whatnot.
Then again, really, like with balance with this game, I personally don't really feel that they care. Like some of these weapons are extremely overpowered.
It's only
the bows
in certain situations. I remember in the first one there was some balancing issues, and they responded to
it. They're gonna balance things specifically
shredded.
They're gonna balance things specifically for like things that are extremely overpowered. But like these guys, I don't want to do a dig at D4, but like I'm gonna have to. Like D4 is so fucking in there with like, we need to make sure everything is balanced. When you don't, just make it feel good. Like if your player feels powerful and it's a little OP,
and the thing is
who fucking cares?
Of like a balancing hell of where you're trying to fight fire with fire the entire time, and all you're doing is just adding more fuel to the fire.
I don't want this to be like a Borderlands situation where,
very true,
because Borderlands is guilty of that too, where they find fun in killing.
Borderlands is definitely bloated as well. Like a lot of their stuff, it's just so much. There's just so fucking much.
I will say
a fun aspect, but
oh my god, everybody shut up and let Bill talk. Bill's been trying to say this one fucking statement for 40 minutes.
Go ahead, Bill. Say it.
You're okay,
they have added a bit they have added a bit of randomness. They took the stats off of armor outside, like the special stats where like the gear sets had like special bonuses, like equip, like you could carry more or you would do more melee damage, stuff like that. They took that off of gear, and they did make it so that you randomly get from chests and from bosses and stuff like that relic pieces
modifiers
that will modify your build. So there is a random aspect.
I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there's a random
for your
aspect in
hearts.
that, and
Yeah.
that is entirely
Yeah.
random. They come in different rarities. They come in different typings.
And
So
some
like
of them are
crit
really
damage.
cool. So some
You
of
know,
them are
and
really
hey,
cool. There's one that like generates shields and shit, which
yeah,
is I
maybe
think
Yeah.
really
that's
dope.
just enough of what we needed, you know.
Yeah. Plus, they make it so that your relic, which is your healing item, you can change out with different style
Very
builds
true.
too, depending
Yeah.
on what you get. So that
Again,
combined
there's
with
like a heart that
the
has like a shielding aspect to it too.
yeah,
And
that
I
combined
found
with the
that really
different
cool.
armors, which the armors are based purely off of weight and resistances now, and fashion, of course. The static weapons, but some of them taking a while to get. Um, and the class system, which you unlock more classes as you go. I think there's a lot of build variety here, and I think having any more
sure.
would create it would be funky to
What
say
if
the least.
what if they
I
oh, good.
good.
I was gonna say, what if they were to, instead of adding random drops as far as weapons, to make it to where the bosses that you encounter at the end are randomized, right? Like
They do that
They do
kind of.
that already.
Okay, well, so what if the all right? Well, do they randomize the item
I mean,
that
the
drops
boss.
off of the weapon, off of that
Well, no,
boss?
you get different weapons based off of how you kill the bosses in some instances.
Yeah,
Just like in Remnant 1.
Yeah, like in the first
Right, you
game, you
cut
had the
off the
dragon. If
tail.
if you killed the
Yeah.
if you cut off the dragon's tail, you got a sword. If you killed the dragon regular, you got a SMG.
ham.
So there's
There's
different
one-
variants of kill.
There's one early game that like if you kill it a certain way, you get a rifle. If you kill it a different way, you get a melee weapon.
Didn't
If
they?
you kill
But
it a
didn't
different
they
way, you
have
get
it
an
where
amulet.
that boss would always spawn with that map? No, like it wasn't, the boss wasn't.
No,
I
there
thought-
there
you're
there were
saying-
different
There
there
was
were
different
different
bosses,
bosses with
yeah.
the maps. Yeah,
There just wasn't a lot
There's
in
still
Remnant 1.
a select number of
Yeah.
bosses per map, but it's randomized per map. But like
Yeah.
one boss on like the sewers is not going to appear on the castle.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played Remnant 1, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember
it's fair.
back to it.
Same. Yeah.
There's enough variety, I think, that you can really sink your teeth into it. The only downside, and I've heard this from several people, is that they neutered build variety in that they limit you to 60 trait points, whereas the original game you could have
Yeah, I had heard
What
that.
about-
pretty much infinite trait points.
Yeah,
What
That's
about the
yeah.
dog though? Is the dog neutered too, or no?
I would assume not. You need that testosterone to have that
Yeah.
killing edge. You know what I
Can
We
mean?
get a
Yeah,
can we get
I
a
hope
zoom
not,
really quickly?
right?
Can we
Oh
pause
my
and get a
Yeah.
zoom on the
God.
dog there? There's
I-
some.
I-
No.
Sin might know
No, you
better
cannot.
than me.
But that's probably the biggest, besides the performance issue on PC, that is probably the biggest flaw that I have heard with the game, is that the trait system is extremely limiting. You can only get, if you wanted to max out traits, you only get 6 traits that you're able to max out per character. You can re-roll them, but
They're just expensive,
limiting
isn't it?
yourself to 6 traits is
Is there 24 traits in total?
yeah,
just
that
going
whole
off the open
whole
slots, so I
screen,
figured.
I'm assuming, is all the slots for
So
traits.
20
Yes.
24,
Isn't it
so 6
expensive
out of
also to
24.
respect? Like I heard there was a big
It's
complaint about-
expensive to do a lot of things in this game, like scrap and like the irons, like the forged iron or galvanized iron. It's extremely expensive to do a lot of things with with the weapons and everything. So
Yeah,
it's
right
kind of
there
like
on the
D4.
video. I just got one of the random
Yeah.
relics from that chest.
It's kind of like D4. The further up you get, the more expensive it is to upgrade shit. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of these traits are like very basic but very necessary, like max health, max stamina, cooldown reduction, like the generic
Weapon-
stuff that you're going to
weapon
want on every
distance,
single
yeah.
build. You can't really branch out unless you want to go extremely niche and leave yourself in a detriment in a different category. 60 is not enough. The developers have said that they are going to potentially look into increasing this, but as of right now, 60 is it. And
you
it's
really
not
you
enough.
really just go over to Nexus Mods. They've got a mod for it already. So
Yeah, Nexus mods. But that's, again, if your PC version works, and if you're
Yeah,
a console
very true,
player, you're
very true.
not.
if you're a console pleb,
Shit, I don't look.
sorry,
Listen,
Bill.
I got a disc. If Y2K happens, I can still play this.
You can still play it as long as you
Yeah.
have electricity.
As long as I have electricity, I can get a Jenny and play Remnant 2 on my
Yeah.
PS5.
I've had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I put about 24 hours into it. I'm nowhere near finished. I think 20 hours. That's me. 20 hours is me playing with you guys.
What difficulty are you playing on again?
I am playing on the secondary difficulty because fuck apocalypse difficulty. The game is already.
You're not playing on Nightmare. You're playing on the one underneath that.
I'm playing on the secondary difficulty, veteran. Yeah, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
So there's. I think
how
there's
have you felt the difficulty is so far? Because I feel like this game's significantly harder than what Remnant
100% so much harder than like Remnant. The hardest difficulty in Remnant for me is like veteran difficulty.
What about you, Sin? Do you think the game's harder?
No, it's easy mode.
I forgot about that. Yeah. The first night that we played it, fucking Sid is like, bro, this game is so easy while we're fighting trash mobs essentially.
The first like 15 minutes of the game.
He's like, this game fucking sucks. It's so easy. I hate this shit.
I say it sucks. I never said it sucks.
Yeah, I just said it's easy mode. Like, let's amp it up.
It's just
what difficulty were you playing on? Veteran?
I wanted to play on Nightmare. Yeah.
I've been playing solo on Nightmare.
And honestly,
Bill's a real man.
And honestly, co-op, we probably could have boosted it up to Nightmare because I do know that it scales with co-op depending on the amount of people that you have. And one complaint I do have is that you can only have 3 people, and I think that was the same in the first one.
It was, yeah.
I'm
sure that's for balancing issues.
Well, that's what I was about to say. They've addressed already, which they basically said, well, we tried 4 felt decent, but it still felt a little too easy with 4 people, so we balanced towards 3. That was why they chose 3. So
and hell, again, if 3's not enough, just download the mod on Nexus.
Just download the mod and you can have 16. Yeah.
Holy shit! I can
as long as you're on PC.
16 people running around.
Yeah.
Does
but
it
I've been
continue
playing.
to amp?
I don't know if the mod amps the difficulty or not.
I don't think so. No, the mod.
So you can just have mindless fun with it.
Yeah.
But Nightmares felt like a decent challenge. It definitely was a big learning curve right off the go. My first day of playing it, I think I only cleared 2 areas, like not even like a world. Just like
you playing
2
veteran?
segments. No, I'm playing Nightmare.
That's what I thought. I was like, I thought that you were playing Nightmare.
I'm playing Nightmare. I can not imagine doing Nightmare solo without the handler class because the dog is so useful for gathering aggro. It actually there's a variant of the dog that exclusively it's able to take more damage, and it also builds tank dog. Yeah, it builds up aggro and takes more damage.
Tank dog.
There's also healer dog and an attack dog, which I haven't unlocked attack dog yet, but
the handler seems like a really good class. I've played it a little bit, but I went gunslinger, and I've been loving gunslinger.
I will say for mobs, the handler is amazing. For bosses, not so much, because once the dog is down, you're basically a Remnant 1 character with no other perks. Because all of your perks are built around being in proximity to your dog or working with your dog. Like if the dog goes down, you lose all those benefits.
Yeah. That's where your double being able to have 2 classes comes into play, I think.
Yeah.
Once you get to that point, I think it'll be a little bit easier for you. Because like when I went from being just a straight gunslinger, and then I picked up a hunter as well. That just furthered my damage output essentially. With everything that I was already using. So.
Right. But it's felt good. It's felt I haven't had too many issues on Nightmare. I did spend 35-ish minutes on a boss. I don't know if any of you have come across the Huntress in the Fey area.
No, I haven't come off on her
yet. It was the most difficult boss that I've had. It's a unique boss, so it's not like a reskin of a normal enemy built up to a boss.
That is one thing I will say with a lot of the bosses too, is like they could have went down the easy route and just reskinned like mobs that they had in the world, but pretty much every boss so far that I've run into feels unique. So
yeah. Boss design's good. Area design's really good. I've played 2 different variants of the Fey area, and one started me out like in the streets and the sewers and stuff, and the other one started us out in the castle where we were actually talking to like the Fey council and stuff. So it sets you on completely different paths. One's like Bloodborne horror-esque, and then the other one's like high fantasy. This is the same world. It's really,
I like the Bloodborne world. the most. So
Yeah,
far.
it's really well done. I'm very happy with it. I'm very
the Bloodborne one, honestly. Like Yesha and the other locations feel decent, but they put a lot of love into the Bloodborne one. It feels like they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, and it paid off big time.
Well,
definitely.
that is Remnant. Again, you can find it on console. It's not on Game Pass. You can get it on Steam. I think that's it, right?
Results may vary. Remember, you have 2-hour refund period.
That is true. Yeah.
Is it on Epic? I don't know if it's on Epic.
Yes, it is. I think actually, yeah. Because
first one was.
I think you can sign up for an Epic Games. They originally when I logged into it, it was like, please enter your Epic Games. And I was like, nah, bro.
I mean, it's Gearbox published, so I would assume Gearbox and Epic are like two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, the other game that just released.
One last thing. Sorry. It is not crossplay. So if you're wanting to play with friends, make sure you get on the same console. They're probably going to add it in the future, like they did Remnant 1.
They have come out and said that they want to have crossplay within like the first 4 or 5 months of the release. But
would have been nice at launch, but yeah,
we'll see if that happens or not.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay. Segue.
No segue. The other game that we've been playing is
Transitions.
Enigma has played the official release. Myself, Scruffy, and Bill, I don't think have yet actually to play the official release.
Nope.
Planning on tonight.
Played the early access.
Yep, early access stuff. Like very, very early access, like a long time ago. Early access.
I played recent early access.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Baldur's Gate 3, it has taken the internet by storm, which we all kind of knew was going to happen. It has
Steam by storm, dude. Did you hear that the Steam servers
Steam
down?
crashed? Yeah. Dude. It's a wild kind of thing, and I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't allow for preload, because I know why. They said they wanted to make sure that the Steam client didn't fucking crash, but how is that? How is that not going to happen? I don't
as soon
get
as you
it.
allow people to start downloading, everybody's just gonna.
Yeah. So, but in any case, Baldur's Gate, if you're not familiar with this franchise, it is by Larian Studios, the people that made the original Baldur's Gate, and then also made Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2. This particular version of Baldur's Gate is a departure from the original Baldur's Gate. The OG Baldur's Gate was a more action RPG style of game. This goes down the route of being a very strict 5e representation of the game. If you've played Divinity Original Sin, you're like that, you're gonna love this. And if you love D&D, then you're gonna love this even more. I've been eagerly waiting for this release, eagerly waiting. So
it's good, man. So far, right off the bat, you can definitely tell there's a lot of differences. The character creation, myself and Scruffy were talking about it this morning.
Yeah, they polished the shit out of that.
A lot better than it was in the early access. They haven't really added a ton, from what I can tell. I think they added 2 races.
Oh, okay. As far as character creation, yeah,
as far as character creation, they've added 2 races. They added the Dragonborn and can't remember what the other one was.
Right,
half work.
Oh,
it might have been 3. Half work. No, Gnome was there. We had Gnome, and we had. I'm pretty sure we had
Gnome was new.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Either way,
I don't know. Either way, they added a couple of new races. The character customization itself has had a lot of changes to it, though. Like there's a lot more facial changes. You can choose your genitalia if you want to. It's up to you. I personally didn't do that. It's a little weird, but yeah, you can 100% go down the cyberpunk route and be like, hey, I want a dude that's got a vagina or a chick that's got a dick.
It's full immersion, right? Full 5e immersion.
Yeah, dude.
And you can pick what that genitalia looks like too. It's very
strange. That's a little bit further down the 5e immersion that I don't necessarily need.
I don't really know why we had to, but
might give you more charisma.
Well, that's what I was asked. Are there stat bonuses?
This is a game that lets you screw as a bear. So
I have not seen any game changes for a bigger dick. So
I just read a tweet too from Larian. They said the bear stuff isn't even the weirdest stuff in the game.
I don't doubt it, dude. Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. I saw one the other day that was like a furbolg and a troll doing it, and your character walks in on him, and she makes fun of the furbolg's penis size, and she's like, oh, it's so small, and the dude's like, the giant or the troll gets up and it's like, oh, such an intimate moment has been ruined. Let us leave now.
It's not the size that
it's
matters.
fucking weird, dude. Yeah, there is some weird shit. Larian Studios is always they always push
They're
those
open, man.
they always push those boundaries. But yeah, no,
book.
it's good so far from what I've seen. It's a very good representation of 5e. There's a couple of things that I don't really agree with. They changed a couple of names of skills, which I don't understand. Like Chill Touch, they changed to like I can't
Is it a tell you touch? It's immediately push in jail.
I don't know why. I don't know why they changed it. They have the ability to use the name, so it just made no sense to me why they changed it.
That is interesting. I wonder what
they removed.
For that was.
I don't know. They removed a couple.
No, so
bone shell. That was it. Yes, bone shell. So they changed it from chilling touch to bone shell. I don't understand why. But
if I choose
the same
skill about the bones, bro.
If I choose a female, all right, well, a vagina, it is a vagina chill.
Maybe.
No, yes. Maybe, bro.
Possibly.
That,
yeah.
We're not gonna be able to use that clip. That's not gonna be able to be used on.
Not gonna be able to use on TikTok right there for sure. Shorts is fine, just not TikTok. But yeah, it's a very good representation of 5e. I was extremely surprised with it. There was a couple of changes that I was just like, I don't really understand why they did that, but it's not like to the point that you're just like, oh, fuck this game, you know?
I've heard that they did a lot of adding in regards to back end classes, like a lot of subclass.
They did, yes, they did,
additions and stuff like that.
Tons more back end or tons more subclasses. I
like that.
The wizard in the open alpha or the pre-alpha or whatever it is, the
early access.
Early access. That's what I was trying to find out. The wizard had like maybe 2 subclasses. In this one, it has all the subclasses. So you've got necromancy, school of necromancy, abjuration, conjuration, everything like that. So one of my favorites. I was able to make my character that I'm currently running, Xavier, in my 5e campaign. My ranger.
You didn't make a necro.
Ranger. I did not make a necro right off the bat. But I can remake my Gloomstalker Ranger, which surprised the shit out of me because Gloomstalker is technically a it's not a new class, but it's not a new subclass, but it's not an old subclass at the same time.
What's it called? Like, Gloomstalker?
Gloomstalker, yes. Gloomstalker, the entire thing for Gloomstalker is like essentially you have a innate ability to be invisible while in the dark for creatures that rely on dark vision. So if you're in the dark,
cool.
If you're in the dark and they rely on dark vision, you have advantage on any attack that you make, essentially, and they have disadvantage on any attacks that they make towards you. So
that's cool.
It's huge. Like I'm really impressed with it. Looking forward to seeing the mod content for it too, because like there are a couple of things that they don't have in the game right now. Like they don't have Dampiers, they don't have some races.
You already know the mod content's gonna be huge.
100%, 100%. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Unless the DM's a bastard and uses a lot of lights. Exactly. Shao was my DM, by the way, if you guys don't know this. Shalador is my DM for my campaign, and he continuously tries to fuck my character left and right with lights. Everywhere.
They haven't released the campaign creator in this though yet, right? Like
I don't know if they will. We were actually, myself and Shalador were talking about that today. I'm not sure if they will.
They did. They came out and said that. Oh, I didn't know if it was already out, but they said that they were going to support custom campaigns. I just didn't know if it was already out or not.
I don't think they have. I don't think they have one like they had in Divinity. Like Divinity had a DM mode.
I don't think Divinity had it when it first came out, though. So that's why I didn't know if this had it.
No, Divinity released with a DM mode.
Oh,
Divinity 2, I think.
Divinity 2, Original Sin. Yeah, Original Sin 2 released with a DM mode. That's the one that I was talking about. I don't know about Original Sin, the first one.
No, I was talking about the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but if they release a campaign creator for this, it's going to be huge. The only reason why I would say, and myself and Shalador were talking about this, the only reason why I would say they possibly might not do it is because Dungeons and Dragons is already coming out with their own digital GM tool. Essentially, the game, they're coming out with their own version that's published by them. So I'm not sure if they're going to give Larian the ability to do that.
But I mean, they already have the rights though. To
Yeah, they're
Dungeons and
already
Dragons.
making money off of this.
They have the rights to this specific for
The
Baldur's Gate.
The
They don't
Universe
have
5e.
they don't have the rights to like the other core materials from the core game though. You
I don't
see
know,
what I'm
What
saying?
what would stop them
I
from
can't
just being
imagine-
allowing a dungeon mode or DM mode just
Yeah,
within
if,
their
if
game?
everything's already in the game, I can't
Tosh's-
imagine that.
Tosh's
stop them.
Cauldron, all of their additional contents, everything like that. That would be the only thing stopping them from doing that. Because again, like I said, they
Oh.
only have the content license for Baldur's Gate and this version, as far as I can tell. Don't quote me on that. I'm not affiliated with Larian. I don't know
I'm
for
not quoting
sure.
you, man. I think you are secretly
Well, I mean,
affiliated.
I would assume that would be the
Either
only
way,
thing stopping
you
them.
know that mods are gonna the mod team.
Oh,
or
100%.
community will
If it
allow
don't
that
come
to
out-
happen.
If it doesn't come out officially, the mod community will take
100%,
over
yeah.
for sure.
I can't wait to get in
I-
here and get my sticky fingers on every fucking piece of loot that I can
You
goddamn steal and ruin
motherfucker.
campaigns.
I don't
I
wanna know
cannot
about-
Keep
wait.
your hands off those
I don't-
balls, man.
I don't want to know about
Don't care if
anything
they're
that that's
Dude,
sticky on you. That you're
don't
gonna
worry
be
about it,
getting into
man.
with this.
Don't worry about
you
it.
Need to, you know what you need to need to chill your bone. Sir.
No,
You need to-
how do you think that I get my sticky material? I'm just saying.
and you know what I'm gonna say, Enigma. You better you better watch your back. You stay away from those edges, sir.
I mean, you better do the same
Dude,
thing,
I
bro.
can't wait to yeet Enigma 2 off of a fucking cliff. I've got to recreate
But
that.
yeah. I think we'll probably have a more in-depth like review of it later on down the road because
Right.
like you got to realize this game is so huge. Like this,
Yeah, 2
what
million
I'm doing,
dialogue.
what I'm doing right
Unrealistically
now,
huge.
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now, this is like I think I streamed for like 3 hours today, almost 3 hours. This was like 2.5 hours in, and we're not even
this
out of the
game's
material.
so
We're not even out of
huge.
the what's called
Tutorial
the
area?
introductory tutorial area.
This
dude.
game's so huge that didn't another developer come out and say like Baldur's
You
Gate
need to
is
back it
an
off. Yeah.
unrealistic
A lot of them did, actually.
expectation on video games going further because of how big this game is.
Yeah, a lot of them did. A lot of AAA companies came out and were like,
they're
"Hey,
it's not fair."
yeah, hey, don't expect it to be so huge. Our games to be so huge. This is like a one-off, essentially, is what they
Yeah.
said."
But it needed to be. It needed to be big. It needed to be true to the 5e universe. Like
For
Yeah,
sure.
man.
everything that I am hearing so far review wise for this game is that it is not. I mean, not almost perfect, right? Like obviously there's going to be flaws. But
I will say there are bugs. There's still a lot of
Yeah,
bugs
well,
in the
no-
game.
Yeah, you're never gonna
myself
escape
and
the
myself and
bugs.
Shao ran into an issue today where we started our own campaign between the two of us, and getting into the control area at the start, we couldn't use the door. The way we got past it is I summoned a mage hand and used mage hand to fly through the door, and then it
But
loaded in
that's
the
the
next
cool part,
area.
man. You have so many possibilities. It doesn't even matter if something's stopping you. You can brainstorm and find another way.
Well, no, that was
Wasn't
that
that a
was a
bug in the
complete
first-
broken game. Yeah, that
What-
was a complete broken portion. That was not
But
intended.
I know, but that's
know
what I'm
he's-
saying. Like,
yeah.
it don't.
I
You
get
can
you.
still, use any thing in the game to problem solve. Even if it's
Yeah.
a bug that's stopping you, they give you the tools and whatever you need to get past.
But
it.
wasn't that
yeah.
wasn't that a bug in the original early access too that we were
I don't
running
doubt
into?
it,
That
yeah.
first
Yeah,
area
I
was a
don't-
pain in the ass to get
It
through.
was.
Yeah.
It was extremely buggy.
Oh,
I
oh,
will
oh,
say
the
they
the
shortened-
ship, the mind flayer ship.
Yeah, they shortened that
that
introductory
whole
area as
thing.
well. That introductory area is
Thank
a lot
God.
shorter from
That's
the
good,
original,
yeah,
which is good.
yeah, man. That part was rough.
But yeah,
Did you keep the brain or did you
I think we
it,
fucked it
right?
up. We tried. We
Didn't
tried
you
to
eat
keep it. No, you could
No,
you
I-
could like do a
I
brain
don't know.
surgery on it and
Remember you
make it.
could eat it.
there's a whole
You
whole
could like
bunch of
do a yeah, you could do like a brain surgery thing on it and make it
Oh,
subservient
yeah.
and make it a companion. I think we fucked up on it and it just ran away and we killed it. So
just
I
let me
think that's
steal
what
it.
happened in the first
Just
one.
steal
too.
the fucking thing. Just gonna steal everything.
dude,
I can't wait.
Sin is
Cannot wait.
Sin is gonna steal the most
Everything.
rudimentary like cups.
Yeah,
he will
no,
steal
absolutely.
every cup
doesn't
on
matter
every
what it is.
table.
dirty rags. I don't give a shit. If it's something I can pick
Silverware.
up, I'm taking it.
A ball,
Yeah.
a rock.
doesn't matter.
Probably he'll steal
Yeah.
a
You-
rock.
you
He'll be
just
like,
better
"This
keep
is
those
mine
sticky
now."
fingers off of me, Sin.
No,
I don't
no,
want to be.
no.
I don't
Wait
want
till you
those
go to
sticky
sleep,
fingers
man.
on me during the night, man. Get out of here, man.
Speaking of that, they have like full nudity sex scenes as well. Apparently,
no,
that you can.
Sin,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
please, go away.
Yes.
Oh god. So
I cannot wait to rub my sticky body
It's,
all over people.
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting the next couple weeks playing, because I can already tell that I'm going to have like 6 campaigns. I'm going to have 2 with you guys, probably like 5 with random other people that I'm playing with, 1 with myself.
We're never gonna finish any of them.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we'll enjoy them, but we're never gonna finish them.
I am going to try. I am going to do my best to at least do a solo campaign.
I know that Stevens is expecting me to read all 2 million lines of dialogue, and I was like, "You're fucking crazy." It's like that's not gonna happen.
Good luck.
What is it? How many endings? Is it like 170,000 endings like or something like that?
17,000 specific endings, but like there's I don't think that's true. Like I mean, I'm sure that it is true.
I'm sure it's very,
but I don't think that it's like certain changes. It's like tiny changes in whatever happens, you know.
Very minute details that might alter from ending to ending, but still, with all of those small differences, I'm sure there's a lot of big ending differences too. You know,
I don't doubt it. I think
17,000. I mean, you gotta have at least 200 hundreds of actual real different endings. Like that's pretty awesome. Still,
Bill, what's your thoughts on this? You excited?
I'm very much excited. I like 5e. I like D&D. I've liked the little bit that I've played through of this. We played it about a month ago, so it was a fairly recent early access version of it. Had a lot of fun with it. Didn't get super far, but it was nice to see how it was kind of working out. And I was a big fan of Divinity Original Sin 2, so this is just that amplified and more like true to D&D. The big thing I want to bring up with this is just PC release, right?
This is just PC
as of right now.
PS4 I think releases in another
PS5,
weeks, right? PS5,
yeah. Is it coming out on PS4 or is it specifically PS5?
No, this is only PS5. I'm pretty sure. That's the whole reason with like Xbox. It's supposed to release on PS5 and Xbox. Xbox
has no release date as of right now.
It can't release on Xbox right now because Xbox Series X can't run it, and Xbox has a thing
Series
where
S.
if a game, S, not X, Xbox has a thing that like if your game can't run on both the latter versions and the like big boy version, they won't allow you to release it. So
that is, I think, a massive detriment.
It is.
That Series S is holding Xbox back so hard on the technical aspect when it comes to a ton of games.
I will say though that
it's also delaying like potentially this game indefinitely if Larian Studios isn't able to get it running effectively on the Series S.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that this game is one of those outliers. Like it's so big that it's going to be rough. Like the only reason why PS5 has an upscale on it is because they have that SSD that SSD technology. I think,
for sure. It's just a weird place to be in, and I hope that they can get it sorted out and get it to Xbox as soon as possible. Because Larian's always been good with Xbox.
Larian has already come out and basically said that we're dedicated to essentially bringing this out on all consoles. It's going to come out. They're judging about 4 months. So,
but Baldur's Gate, Larian Studios is supposed to be being acquired by Microsoft. I don't understand. This headline says that they're being bought.
Get out of here, bro.
Get out of here
with your fucking clicks.
The Gamer Ant site said that they were being acquired. No, actually,
it must be true.
The thing that we were talking about is that there was a rumor that obviously Microsoft was going to acquire Larian Studios. The Baldur's Gate 3 boss is Sven Winkel. That's not a hard name to say at all. Basically dismissed the possibility of selling the company
anytime soon.
Yeah, anytime soon. I think that I seriously doubt that these rumors are based in false facts. Like, obviously, I think there's maybe some conversations happening somewhere.
For sure. It came out.
I said it earlier.
FTC or whatever it was, the court case that they showed a list of studios that Xbox was interested in getting, and Larian was one of them. So it was definitely at least like discussed, and an offer was put out there.
Well, it's like I was saying earlier in the podcast chat. It's like, it wouldn't surprise me considering the fact that Larian Studios has it's like they're like Bethesda, right? Like Larian Studios has worked very closely with Xbox and Microsoft in general throughout the years. So I don't think it's true, but like it is based in some form of truth that they do work well together. So
Bill, the boss,
Yeah.
Mr. Swin says that the Xbox Series S does not hold back gaming.
I mean, it's holding back Baldur's Gate 3 from coming to the fucking console at a reasonable time.
Yeah, you have to realize again that like just like the AAA video game people were like, "Yo, this is a one-off." It's huge. This game is fucking huge. Like,
yeah.
I'm just.
But no, this is a potential Game of the Year winner, and I think it's a huge miss that Xbox isn't able to get it out at the same time as every other system, simply due to the fact of hardware.
I don't think that, because the game launches on September 6th on console, on PS5 at least. I don't think that that Xbox is really going to give two shits because Starfield is launching within literally the same
that is very
couple
true.
days.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably won't, but why have one bestseller?
Oh no,
game
I'm
when
not
you
saying
could
that
have
you're
two?
wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying that I don't think that they're putting as much pressure to say, get this out now, when they're like, Starfield's going to fucking take up, the next.
But you think they should have prioritized getting this out? Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what it seems. I mean, and
why not?
No, I think we all agree with
gatekeeping
that.
a whole audience, from Baldur's Gate 3 too. So that
Yeah,
it's just
not even for a
it's
shitty
just,
reason like Sony bought it out. It's just simply due to hardware.
And it's not even just hardware. It's just the Series S, right? It's literally just the Series S that can't run it. There's no reason why they can't release it for the Xbox.
Series S is the one before or after?
The series. So they both came out. The Series S is the lower fidelity version that also doesn't have a disc tray. It's the digital only.
So they're pretty much holding it back because only the Series S.
Only the Series S
can't, but the other one could. The new.
I'm sure. I have no doubt. Yeah.
So that's a bit wild.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that Series S is not long for the world. I promise you that.
No, when the Xbox Pro comes out, they're not going to do an S Pro. 100%, no fucking way, because it's only caused them issues, and I don't even think a lot of people got them.
No, it was
like, I understand them wanting to put an affordable console out there, but I think they're shooting themselves in the foot by limiting what games that they can release. If it can't release on that, we're not taking it at all. I get it for the gamer perspective, because you bought an Xbox, you want to be able to play any Xbox game or any game that comes out on it.
To play any game,
but it's holding them back. It's like developers still making games for prior gen consoles.
Right,
that's holding them back too.
Yep.
One more thing too that
if you fuck up my transition, I swear
I'm
to God.
sorry. It's still regarding Baldur's Gate and Larian Studios. I just thought it was a cool little tidbit that we got from them, is that they were in the talks. They are in the talks of new Divinity, but they obviously are going to take a long awarded break after Baldur's Gate 3, but they are in the talks of developing and making a new Divinity, which I thought was pretty cool, because it is also a great series.
They also said that they aren't expecting that the new Divinity will be as big as Baldur's Gate 3, because this Baldur's Gate 3 has taken 6 years.
And even they admit that Baldur's Gate 3 is a huge standard of video games, bro. This is going to be the game that tops everything for a while, I'd say.
Somebody else that is taking a very long break, I don't know if it's well deserved, but it is a very, very, very long break, is the season 1 lead designer from Blizzard, because Blizzard is hiring for a new season lead designer after
whoa. There was no position for a season. There was nobody to take a break. There was no position for a season 1 designer. They didn't have a season 1 designer.
That season 1 designer is still on break.
You ruined his transition.
But it was a false transition.
It's not a false transition. If there was nobody there, the person is taking whoever. They're taking a break. That person is still on break. Yeah, there's a break.
More of Sin's great transition.
There's a break. Look, man, I gotta go with what I gotta go with.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Anyway, so Blizzard is. Look, the season. Obviously, I am alone.
Mean they're gonna have a season 2 lead director at some point that they're gonna need to hire in?
Well, they're gonna have a season director. It's a season lead designer.
Also, this isn't just a season 1 lead designer.
No, this is a season lead designer, like somebody.
director each season.
Well, they did that with
That's not necessarily a bad idea. Get some fresh blood in there.
Probably
Get
not,
some new
man.
content ideas out there.
They did that with Star Wars. If fucking 7 was a different director than 8, then it was than 9. So
and okay, fair enough. Point made.
But anyway, apparently I'm not the lone soul, and I'm not going to say that season 1 is phenomenal. Like, there are definitely flaws. I'm having fun with the game, but not to rehash all of that. But there obviously is some backlash that's going on right now with season 1, and with our next topic that's about to come up, having that happen. I think Blizzard is realizing, okay, well, we definitely need to make some serious changes. So they are looking at hiring a lead season designer for Diablo 4, and someone that's going to basically be there to lead what those seasons look like. I don't know if they've had a season designer in the past for Diablo 3. I'm pretty sure that was just kind of cobbled together.
I'm pretty sure that they had a season designer in Diablo 3. Yeah. I'm pretty sure of it.
I didn't think they did. I thought that was a team based, like that was just within the it wasn't like how they did season 1. Like, it was just the core team developed what that season was going to be and then moved it forward.
Maybe I'm not sure.
I thought that was what the big fiasco about this was. But yeah, anyway, I mean, I don't know. I know Bill, all of this is coming after the fact too, of like the post Campfire 1.1.1 and the update that's coming out there. Like, Bill, right. I know I think, have you come back yet? Have you started back? Or are you still waiting on the update?
No, I'm still waiting. I have not started back in any real capacity with the game. I'm going to build a Sork after the patch comes out, because it seems like Sork will actually be pretty decent. I'm still not sold on the Barbarian stuff. I might not even build a Sork. I might just build a Necromancer and just have fun with the game, because that's one class that I know I can have fun with.
I'm having fun with it, man. It's easy. It's easy mode.
It's the fucking broken class now. But
just gonna get even more broken too on these with these patch notes that are coming out. So
yeah, I haven't picked it up yet though. Again,
I will say that I went into the PvP zone, had a lot of fun there. And was wrecking people until I came up against a barbarian. They
thorned you to death.
Fucking build was ridiculous. So that was tough. But then
about build, you mean the only viable barbarian build?
I guess, sure. I don't know. I don't play barb. It's boring to me.
Take 3 shouts and stack thorns. That's the build.
And then the other one was a fire mage, which completely, like, I tried building this build, and I don't know what they were running to make it happen, but it was fucking insane. It was an insane build. So anyway, I don't know. I'm excited to see, what the changes are going to be for 1.1.1. And I'm still continuing to have fun. This game is solely one of the reasons why I'm not playing Remnant 2 so much, is because I'm just head down into Diablo 4. So. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this, because say what you want about the Diablo 3, if they didn't have a lead designer, like, obviously Diablo 3 seasons were they were very, very, very different from Diablo 4's seasons, in my opinion. Like, Diablo 3 seasons were very lackluster in a lot of they
cases,
were just
and I think
dropping a new unique set.
Diablo 4, I think, is what they want. They want to bring that new feel for the seasons into the Diablo franchise, right? And season of Malignance
out of Path of Exile.
They did,
seasons.
yeah, 100%. And season 1 did not, I really don't feel like it hit the mark. Like, it really, there wasn't. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot to it. The Malignant Hearts don't really feel like, they feel good when it comes down to some classes. Like, obviously, Necromancer feels great. It completely changed how the game, or how you play the class in an entirety role, right? Like, everything about the class was changed with just one Malignant Heart, essentially. But other classes, their Malignant Hearts are just complete dog shit in some instances. So it just feels like, to me, they just kind of rushed it and threw it in, and were hoping that nobody would notice it. But it's like, Diablo fans are going to notice it. Like, they're going. I mean,
I don't know.
There's no way around.
I wouldn't say I don't think they threw it in hoping nobody would notice. I think they did it. They rushed the season out because they were like, we have to get content out. We have to get it. Like, I don't know why they just one, because I think the game was rushed, right? I think that even though it had been it had been in development for so long, like I think that
that's very apparent that it was rushed and that it was pushed by the stockholders to get as much content out.
I think because of that, they couldn't give themselves the 3-month time frame to actually build a real good season, because there wasn't enough content within the base game to actually, I think, sustain 3 months of the base game. Like I don't think people would have probably gotten burnt pretty quick.
Well, to counter that, I really don't think there's enough content in the base game and season 1.
I'm not I'm not saying there is, but I'm saying that's the reason why season 1 came out a month after. For it,
because they didn't give themselves enough time with the base game, to come out with a season. Is what you're saying,
right? So, So anyway, so we'll see. This all, you bring up PoE, and that kind of brings us into our next topic, which is ExileCon happened. We got a brand new season which starts on the 18th for Path of Exile 1, which is
what season is this?
I don't know.
It's
I don't
15,
even know.
I think 15 or 16.
It's up there, bro.
Let me see what season. Give me one sec. Season of PoE.
I think it's 15.
While he's looking this up, I just wanted to note as well with the Diablo season and the new patch coming out, they didn't fix any of the bugs we talked about last week with like the battle pass, with the shop being like, they didn't add a secondary screen for whenever you're purchasing the battle pass. They didn't change it, they didn't up the amount of coins that you get from the battle pass, and they also didn't fix the actual bug where the one thing was actually making things cost more instead of less. That was not altered either.
So, not surprising at all, honestly. I
didn't really think they were through the patch notes while you all were talking about that, trying to find where if they fixed any of that, and it's not in any of the miscellaneous or UI or season.
It's because it was a feature, like Scruffy said. It wasn't a bug. Like, how dare you say it's a bug?
the mouse snapping to the thing and you automatically buying the battle pass, I'm sure that's working as intended. And the platinum is 100% working as intended.
And the bug where you spent, or you were able to buy things for less money, but then they made respecing cost more. 100%. That's a feature, bro.
Holy shit. There are 40 seasons for PoE.
Oh my god.
40 seasons, being 41 with the newest one coming out.
I thought there was only 15. That's crazy.
40.
No.
40. Well, leagues, seasons, whatever. I guess the leagues are their seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
leagues
are the seasons.
Yeah. 40. Hand counted them.
That's crazy, dude.
The game's been out for 10 years. So
yeah, it's
just
nuts.
coming up on 10 years.
Very
actually,
Sanctum is is Sanctum. No, that's not the newest season. I don't know. Anyway, the new
Trial of the Ancestors.
That's the newest season. Yeah. So anyway, that is, we got ExileCon, and I think I think the narrative right now that's out there is like, oh, Path of Exile 2 is going to kill Diablo. I don't agree with that statement. I don't
either, because I think Diablo will kill itself.
I don't think Diablo is going to kill itself.
I say it in game.
I think that you're going to see a world where both of them exist, and I think that both of them, and I'm specifically talking about PoE 2 and Diablo 4. I think just like how Kick or Twitch needs another counterpart, whether it's Kick or whoever else, to balance themselves out. I think that Diablo needs a PoE 2. Really, they should have looked at PoE 1, and I think they are trying to look to PoE 1 to try to, do what they're doing. But I think they need each other. It's the yin and yang, right? The balance to have.
I think that this genre of games, it's a lot more open, and people are less critical, on like their game, this genre. They're more accepting of other games living in the genre. So like you might have you will have your hardcore Diablo fans that are like steadfast and they will not do anything with PoE, but you're going to have a majority that I think play, the genre in its entirety, is what I'm trying to get at.
I get what you're saying, but these games are also massive time sinks, and if you're into ARPGs, you're going to pick the game that gives you the most value and is the most interesting for you to play specifically. Like right now, from what I was looking at with Path of Exile 2, it looks like it has more of a gameplay stylings that I would personally enjoy more. The infinite ability to dodge roll was very enticing. The sheer amount of classes that they had and the differences in those classes looked really good.
Yeah, I feel like that's true too. I think the good thing about this genre is every game that comes out in this genre, they offer you so much, and they're so it's pretty much you have a game for any style of your liking.
Yeah, it honestly reminds me of like I hate comparing things to Dark Souls because it's fucking cliche at this point, but it almost has like that style of like third person action RPG, but put up
it's
to
a lot
an
slower.
isometric.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a lot slower, and it relies a lot more on like iframes and dodging than like
which I like. I like the precision aspect
I
instead
feel
of
like
just
this is
space
a
roll.
lot faster in comparison to D4.
In some instances, yeah, it's not as fast as like D3 is, and it's not as fast as PoE is. This is definitely a slowdown from PoE.
Which
I'm like a huge one.
Still faster.
This
than
also
D4.
is, I'm assuming, like beginning to mid area. So you're not going to see.
Yeah, this is.
You're not going to
You're not gonna see
where
late end game builds that are jumping around at the speed of light.
Well, they've already said it. Like inside of this this whole like showcase, they basically stated that like they don't mind if you're jumping around and like teleporting around. Like they would rather you have fun with your builds than be frustrated with them.
The freedom and the options to build that way. That's what PoE did the best, right?
Well, that's what PoE does the best. Still, like to this day, they still do an insanely good job with like giving you that power feel. Like you're not weak. You're actually very powerful late game. Like to a point that like you're almost too powerful in some instances.
Right.
Yeah, but again, they would rather it go that route than
100%. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad. I actually would prefer that. I would prefer to feel powerful late game.
The only problem I have with PoE and have ever had with PoE is it's fucking overwhelming, and especially whenever I tried to get into it originally, I was in the middle of like season 25, I think.
Okay, so this is one thing that I was talking to. I think I was talking to you and Sin about this the other day.
Yeah.
So I was under the same like wheelhouse when I first like recently, right? I went back before Diablo 4 came out. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna give PoE a try. We're gonna buckle in. I know there's a lot of content. Like Sin said, 40 seasons or 40 leagues, whatever they call them, right? There's a lot of content inside that game, right? And yes, if you want to dive into PoE as a whole right off the bat, there's a ton of content that you have to wrap your head around, right? But like if you just play the base game and you ignore a lot of like the end game content, a lot of like because like a lot of the league content you can't even do when you first play the game anyways. So like I started back in the last league when it started, I couldn't do anything with the current league stuff until I was like 40 or 50. So the friend that I was playing with was just like, ignore it. Don't even fucking pay attention to it. Just play the game, get through the storyline, get to end game, and then we'll figure that shit out. You'll start figuring that shit out one league at a time, essentially, right? So like, yes, it is complicated to get into when it first starts out with, because like PoE in and of itself, like the base game of PoE is an extremely complicated game, right? Like the build system and everything like that, and like the color system that you have on like your gear, it takes a little bit to wrap your head around, right? Like if you
have all the league content they're trying to get you into, but it's just like
but if you just buckle in and just say, I want to learn this game, it's not that hard. Like it really isn't that bad. So
gotcha. Okay.
That's one misconception that I do want to kind of point out, because I know that like I'm guilty of it too, where I said the same thing when I first started tried to get back into it. Was like, oh, there's just so much shit to it. I don't want to even try it. I'm just way too late. I don't want to even go in. I don't even want to touch it.
It is very overwhelming. It is.
It is overwhelming. But like if you actually like go into the game and you look at, you don't even really have to buckle down. Just go into the game, ignore a lot of the stuff that you can't even use yet, right?
Yeah.
It just ignore a lot of the league content until you actually get to it. It's relatively easy to get into,
how
honestly.
Much you can play it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Even if it might not seem like it, you're not forced.
Yeah. And so like this game impressed me because originally PoE 2 was going to be it was going to be
like an
collectively. Yeah, it was going to be like collectively PO1, PoE1, and PoE2 were going to be the same game. You could just play one or the other, right?
Pretty much like Overwatch.
Yeah, it got to the point though that like these guys actually got to the point where they were just like, we have so much content in our game, we can't put more content into it. Like we can't do that. So finally they realized that they need to separate this off, and now PoE2 and PoE1 are going to be independent of each other. The one thing that I am very extremely impressed about, and I've said this about PoE a ton of times, that I'm impressed with their microtransactions, right? If you buy a microtransaction, if you buy like a cosmetic on PoE1, you get it on PoE2. If you buy a microtransactions on PoE2, you get it on PoE1. So that's huge.
Unless it says otherwise. Unless
it says otherwise. Yes. Obviously, there's going to be stuff that's specific for PoE1 and PoE2. But generally, from what I've heard, a lot of the stuff that you already have in the game right now, so if you have a lot of your microtransactions right now, those are going to be usable in PoE2 as well.
Good guy grinding gear games on that.
Yeah. So
their microtransactions are really good.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Their microtransactions, I wish Diablo 4 would have microtransactions like
they have cosmetics for like every little detail.
Everything. They have every cosmetics spell, for weapons, they have cosmetics for spells, weapon, summons,
armor, even
armors,
recalls.
Animations, recalls, fucking
you name it.
So pets,
I will say they're expensive. Some of them
they are expensive.
They can range, but they're good. They're worth it.
They're extremely good. Yeah. I will say that
also impressive that they're going to be releasing on all systems like right off the go with this one. Whereas PoE1, it was PC mainly, and then it came out on Xbox, and then it came out on PlayStation like years later. Like there's a big.
You got to remember that PoE1 was released back in what 2000 and.
I can tell you. Hold on 1 second.
2011. Sometime around like
the first season
was 2013.
Yeah, the first season was 2013.
So back in 2013, like, you were never going to have
years.
And they're also not going for the prior generation console, which I think is a good step.
I think is a good start on that. Like, we need to be phasing out those previous generations.
Well, like we just stated with Baldur's Gate, we've been running into the same issues.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like I've talked a lot. You guys can give your opinion. I'm just going to sit back and let you guys talk at this point.
I wanted to point out too. I don't know if you could bring that gameplay back up too, but after just seeing Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay, now comparing it to what we've been shown here, does this not look comparable to Baldur's Gate 3 graphics? Like as if this was just an ARPG version of Baldur's Gate 3. Like I am seeing.
I can see that.
I can see it.
Graphically, dude, the games both look stunning. This looks super amazing, like
big strides in top down. I'm really impressed with the lighting overall, like the lighting as you round a corner.
Dude, I'm digging it. I'm digging the look, what I can see. It looks like it feels great. Like it feels like the speed and the grounding that I want in an ARPG. I don't want to, I'm gonna compare it to Diablo 4 again. I couldn't get into D4 because I felt too weighted down, too clunky.
Yeah,
I felt like there was a lot of features that were missing, like quality of life features that held me back. Bro, they have an overlay.
A map overlay? Yeah.
Dude, imagine that in an ARPG.
Wow, an ARPG with a map overlay? God. Who needs that, right? Yeah. Blizzard doesn't, that's for sure.
I mean, details just like that. They got it. It's an ARPG. They're necessities.
I will say like this. This graphical update in comparison to like the graphical update between Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, I feel like this one is a huge jump.
Well,
but to be fair, the years in between, what was D3? What was
D3 and D4 have about the same amounts. Yeah, they've got about 12 years between those two. I think.
Keep in mind that this game isn't released yet. Also, they could always downgrade before the game comes out. It's still got a year and a half.
Doubt that's gonna happen, but
closed beta is a year and a half, so we don't even know when full release.
There's a lot of time for things to change. Things could improve even more with that time and technology.
That too. But who knows? Either way, what we're seeing in the current state looks beautiful. It is
for sure
gorgeous. I am very impressed, and I am so eager to play this, man. Like this is exactly what, like I was saying, what I wanted out of D4, and I think this is gonna be my D4 as D4 is to Sin. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I do. Obviously, I love Diablo, I'm having a blast with it. But one of my biggest things wasn't even necessarily the nature of like the complexity that was the systems, and it wasn't even the leagues that caused me the bigger issue. It was like the I mean, if you guys are new to the podcast or new to our channels, you wouldn't know, but if you're a veteran of our show, you understand, like, I do not like mods and having to have mods and having to have third party systems to do certain shit or whatever else. And with PoE1, like there was a system around like the trading and around like all of the, the orbs and the economy and all of these things that were to, and again, I have not played since, I don't know, Delve, I think was the last season I played, which was a while back. So maybe those things have changed. I don't know. Like that was a complication for me and again, that's something that you don't necessarily have to do, but it was, something I didn't like. The other thing to me that I didn't like was the speed, the speed at which that the PoE got to at the very, very end, and obviously we're not seeing in game here. Like we don't know what the speed looks like, but I like the more slowed down approach that
they've already said that speed's going to be just pretty much the same as PoE. Yeah, they're not going to be like it's slower. It's slower than the current PoE, but in game they're not artificially like slowing you down.
Cracked out of your mind, I'm sure.
Right. What I'm talking, like, I don't mind it being like this speed's fine. If it's a little bit faster, I get whatever else. And if your build just clears, because you can make a build in Diablo that just clears shit pretty quick and move. But I'm saying that like the speed at which you played PoE, it became ludicrous. Like it just became like this, just like I'm fucking just blasting through these maps.
I mean,
and that
Diablo
to me was
3
kind of
did the same thing, didn't it?
and yes, and I had that issue with that kind of arcadey quote unquote style. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that makes you feel powerful." I was like, "No, it just makes me feel like the content that I'm going through is just null and void, and it doesn't matter to me." So I'm not saying that speed is necessarily a bad thing. I just want the proper amount of speed, and like what I'm seeing here with like the way that the fights, this looks like it would feel good to have.
I think that what you said just barely, where like, yeah, being able to clear something quickly makes the content feel null and void. I don't think that's the case. I think that at least in my opinion, I understand that's your opinion, but like in my opinion, if I'm still struggling with content at end game with a full build, something's wrong, right? Like I should be able to go through trash mobs.
I'm not talking about trash though. I'm talking about the entire map system. Like you watch high end PoE play, and it was just but again,
if you're putting hours and hours and hours into a fucking character, you should be rewarded with high
end PoE play. A lot of those people were dedicated and devoted to finding those. Those
it's the exact same issue that I have with Diablo 4. Doing all those nerfs is like if you're going to put in hours like 90, 100, 120, 200 hours into making a character and getting all those specific uniques and like so making such minute changes in your build and shit, like specific mathematical changes in your build, like you should be rewarded with quick clear speeds, in my opinion. Like they shouldn't artificially slow you down just because they feel like you shouldn't be moving that quickly.
I feel there's a difference between a certain speed and then the ludicrous amount of speed that it felt like that people were running through, the in-game mapping system. Like the in-game mapping system was just like, to me, I would watch people, and whether it was high end or just people that were playing the game, it just seemed like people were just like, it was
just broken builds. It's just broken builds.
Like it's broken builds, and that's how they choose to build and play the game. Because you see a lot of those high end players. Again, they're dedicated. They look for those min-max opportunities to just destroy the game. I can most likely assume that they're going, you've got the option to not have to build like that, and not be a ludicrous, speedster. Like we haven't seen it yet. Obviously we have not seen anything of Endgame. We've only heard.
Oh, it's like Diablo 4. Like even after the nerfs, people are still clearing and putting out millions and millions and millions of fucking DPS. Like even after the nerfs, there's still people out there that can clear. It's just those people that are putting in massive amounts of hours. So
they're min-maxing.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I get where you're coming from. I didn't personally like how I wouldn't say like it's necessarily the speed. I don't like how it's like a cookie cutter builds. Like everybody went down the cookie cutter build, right? Like there was a very specific meta builds for very specific clears. You know, I don't personally like that. I would rather have, you know, all builds do well across all content, but that's just not how it goes with Diablo and like action RPGs in general. So
Right.
you're always gonna have to cook. You're always gonna have the meta builds regardless. So
Yeah, you're never gonna get away from those.
So, yeah,
but it does look good. I am
looks
very
legit.
excited for it. I was laughing. There was a couple of little jabs made at DF4, like, "Hey, we heard you guys, and we know you don't like getting CC'd for 5 minutes, so we just don't have CCs in our game. So have fun with that."
It's pretty legit, man.
I was like, "Damn, son, savage."
So we talked, you know, the about Dark Souls and how this is kind of going off Dark Souls. And actually, I think it was their lead product designer or lead designer on the game was saying that they were actually moving toward like kind of an Elden Ring style, and that's why they took a lot of homage from Elden Ring when they're looking at building PoE 2. And with that being said, Netflix is also taking an homage out of the Dark Souls and Elden Ring universe and looking at possibly an anime.
Gonna completely ruin the fucking Dark Souls franchise too.
Bill, you're not happy with this one, huh?
I don't know. Part of me is okay with it. Part of me is not. One part of the fun of the Dark Souls lore and stuff like that is that nothing's fucking explained, and I feel like putting anything like that in an anime form is going to ruin some of that intrigue.
Yeah.
Secondly, and this is to a positive towards Netflix, I really like what they've done with the Castlevania anime, and so I know they can handle video game based shows decently.
Really? Wasn't there a Witcher
Uh-huh.
anime? And not the show, but wasn't there a Witcher anime pretty legit too? I heard?
Yeah, their Witcher anime was really good. Yeah. I will say that the I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, no, it was decent. But their show is trash, 100%.
But I don't think Dark Souls is the
Season
right
3.
universe to do this in, unless
I mean, season
they
2
build a specific story within the Dark Souls universe separately. Like, I don't think they can follow any of the story arcs from the games and be able to thrive. I think it has to be just like basically side stories of characters living within this universe and how they're interacting. We're not going to get our like chosen undead fighting through things.
My only worry is Netflix loves to cancel their good shows, their good Netflix originals. So
Netflix has good shows and good originals.
Yeah, like they're I mean, Stranger Things and all those shows, like those are pretty hype.
They didn't cancel Stranger Things.
No, I'm saying they have good originals, but they've had other good originals that, you know, have done well, and they just.
I will be more interested to see this when they announce, for one, if this is actually a real thing and what the who's behind it, what the development studio is, if any of the From Software people are actually involved in the writing process. That will determine
if they get the
George R.R. Martin.
if they get the animators and the company that did Castlevania or the Witcher project or even Cyberpunk Edge Runners, like all of those were amazing. I think was that amazing animes. It's a popular. I can't remember what studio it was, but yeah.
What if they give it to James Gunn? Just let him do it.
No. No.
A live. You don't want a live action version of Dark
Give it to
Souls?
Schneider.
No.
Give it to Schneider. You can have the Schneider cut.
No.
What if in the anime he takes off his helmet and he is in fact Henry Cavill?
No.
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 I was.
That's the animation studio.
Yes, they did such a good job with
they do really
with
good animations, dude.
That was the only thing that I was worried about when I looked at this was like I'm with you on that, Bill. Like I've always known Dark Souls to be one of those games and one of those franchises that it's like you have to be in the know for the lore and you have to really dig for the lore in some instances. So
yeah,
having an entire Netflix,
even the lore YouTubers don't have everything exactly like 100%. They're going off of their own personal headcanon and speculation.
But then again, I look at it as like, you know, maybe that's a little bit of gatekeeping in some instances, and maybe this will get more people into Dark Souls.
It's all about gatekeeping. Let's
be
real
here. I mean, that's true.
The communities
maybe this can get more people into Dark Souls. Granted, I don't think that it's going to, because like obviously Dark Souls is a very niche, and like it's not a very easy game franchise to get into, but I would personally like it comes down to a point of like, I'm not really a Dark Souls fan. I don't play those games. I loved Elden Ring. I'd love to know more
Remnant,
about,
which is weird to me.
But even Remnant I have a hard time with, because I'm not a Dark Souls player.
I also feel like I don't. Remnant is like a Dark Souls light.
It's light,
almost like a
for sure.
A bullet hell.
It gives me an easier difficulty, so I can actually play the fucking game with my old man reactions. But
that's fair.
What I was trying to say is like I've always wanted to like learn some of the lore, and granted I could go and look it up. Obviously I could go online and look up a bunch of fucking YouTubers, and I could go and look on Google and find all the lore. But like having an actual like show to just go to and be like, oh yeah, I understand a little bit of the lore now. That would not be bad.
Yeah, just to enjoy the lore that they give you.
For sure.
Because I can't imagine they're going to go super in depth. I mean, who knows? But I can't imagine they will.
Yeah.
Well, what about this TV show? What if we go to Fallout? Are you guys more impressed with the Fallout TV show?
I'm still skeptical, but I am very open. I'm just so scared that I'm going to get burned, bro.
We probably are. We probably are 100%. Who's making it? Have they announced, or is it still rumors?
It's the girl, the pinky poof pie girl that goes gang 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 gang. She's the director of it.
Yeah.
It's giving a lot of red. I mean, it's not what we've seen. What we're seeing here is not necessarily red flags. It's who's creating it, and just the idea of game adaptations in a general.
My question is why are every single one of these screenshots look like they're taking through a fucking screen door? Like,
because they are taken through a screen door.
Because they probably were, bro.
Yeah.
They were purposely taken through a screen door.
Don't you know that Fallout has a lot of screen doors, bro? Like that's just how it goes.
That's the filter that's on it, is screen door filter.
Maybe they were trying to make it like it was through a Pip-Boy, like a Pip-Boy viewer,
The Pip-Boy viewer is not a screen fucking door. It's a
you don't know
green
do you have a Pip-Boy,
LED
bro?
screen.
Do you have a Pip-Boy?
I do.
No,
actually.
you don't. Shut up.
I will say, all the leaks I've seen. This isn't the first set of leaks that we've gotten
this was
from the
like
show.
back in December.
Well, not even just this set of leaks. There's been multiple. They've all looked set design quality, like they've all looked pretty up to par of a good representation of Fallout. So that is my only iota of anything that I'm holding on to.
Opium, bud.
That this might be at least an enjoyable watch, as to how I like Resident Evil, the series, the show, the movies. They're shitty, they're corny, but I like them.
Yeah.
Do you think that
if something up that alley, if it is shit, if not, it could be great. I don't know.
I think Fallout has the benefit.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think Fallout has the benefit of not having like a lot of centralized characters in the lore where they can build their own.
They got a
cast
ton
up.
of centralized characters.
Well,
they do, but it's very wide. They
have a wide breadth, and it's easy to inject new characters into that. It's not.
They have a bigger selection for sure, but like they've got a ton of like very iconic characters.
I'm not saying that they don't have iconic characters, but I'm saying they have. It's not like The Last of Us where it's Joel and Ellie, and you have to be Joel and Ellie, or it's not The Last of Us. This is Fallout. You can literally make a character out of thin air.
I couldn't name one fucking character in Fallout.
Dog meat.
That's because you don't play Fallout, bro. Get out of here. You don't.
I played through Fallout. I played through Fallout 4.
You don't like stories, sir.
And Fallout 3.
Yeah, did you play Fallout New Vegas?
No.
How did you miss the best one?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I just didn't play it. But I couldn't name one character except for Pip-Boy. That's it. That's the only character.
That's because you skipped over all the story, bro.
No, that's true. Just didn't care enough about the lore. Anyway.
But yeah, like my biggest issue is just like if it's Amazon that's making it. Is that true?
What if it was Apple? What if it was Apple? Would you be?
I mean, I would be okay with that. Apple's actually had some pretty decent shows recently.
Yeah.
I still have to watch Tetris.
Apple, dude, Tetris, Ted Lasso.
I can't do Ted Lasso. I tried Ted Lasso. Can't do it.
The only weird one that I've seen from Apple is that one with Jason Momoa where they're all blind. That one was fucking weird.
Mythic Quest is pretty good if you want somebody that's doing a parody of Blizzard and World of Warcraft.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a sitcom based around like an MMO development team. It's pretty fucking good. It's by the same writers as Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We got some. Okay, we got some direct. I guess. Wait, Jonathan Nolan, is that the director? The directors, people who were making Fallout. That's not
It's not. It's
No
Christopher
relation.
Nolan's third cousin, second
no
removed.
relation. Okay. Either way, so Jonathan Nolan is apparently the director, but we have some other, I think, side directors on there. Ella Purnell, who is known for Arcane.
Oh,
Yellow
Okay,
Jackets.
that's positive.
Okay.
And then
I don't know what the overlap is between live action and
I don't know either, but both game series. So
yeah.
you know, that's something. There's some other ones. That's the main notable one for me that seems
Arcane's
pretty
great.
decent.
If you haven't watched Arcane, go watch
is
Arcane.
Really, really good, dude. Yeah.
When are we getting the second season of that?
Next year, 2024.
This year,
Okay.
As long as the writer's strike hasn't delayed it.
I don't think it has. It's
Right,
probably
strike.
gonna
delay
okay.
everything.
Hey, so this is the guy, Jonathan Nolan, who did Westworld.
Okay. Westworld was actually pretty
I've
decent.
heard that was pretty decent.
Except for the last couple of, like the last season was kind of.
It looks like
Listen, no show has a good last season.
No, yeah, this is Christopher Nolan's.
I know. I was
brother.
making a joke, man. I was.
Oh, I did not. I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Okay, moving
I
on.
didn't pick up on that.
Fucking
Sorry,
joke.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with Nolan's fucking relatives. Fuck is
Bro,
making a
well, there's
movie or
also-
not?
There's also Matthew Francis Nolan.
That's great. Are we gonna? Does this
Good lord.
podcast? So this podcast is now about
Let's just do it.
Teslas, fucking
Teslas and directors.
And the Nolan family.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
Nolan
dude.
family.
Teslas and
Nolan's are pretty
Nolans.
dope, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch Oppenheimer still.
Yep. Well, it's not
Alright,
bad.
anyways, let's.
All right. Well, to wrap up the final news, which is actually we probably should have maybe started with this one because this has got a lot of fucking news, but we're not going to go through every single thing. Final Fantasy had their fan fest this past week, and they announced their new update, new expansion, Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail. What?
Dude, chill your bone, bro. Jesus.
I'm having a boner freeze or whatever.
Oh, okay. A bone
Boner
chill.
chill.
I thought that was wrong. I thought you were like upset or your
No.
fucking house was on fire. You're just over there fucking
Yes.
huffing. All
Yes,
right.
I go, when my house is on
Maybe. I don't know,
fire."
man. I don't know. So Dawn Trail is the new expansion that is
God.
coming out summer of 2024. Within Dawn
Right.
Trail, obviously, they released a bunch of new information. You're going to get a new zone. You're getting a new city, hub city. You're getting new allied tribes. They're also bringing out new jobs, level cap increase, new raids,
jobs.
obviously. New what?
Two new DPS jobs, one magic and one melee. People are thinking at least the melee is going to be a pirate class, like a corsair, because of the trailer. We're not sure what the magic DPS is going to be, but it'll probably be something to do with like Aztec-y stuff, because like the entire like main zone is like Aztec in theme. So
There's
That'd be pretty
kind of
cool.
cool.
a big graphical first graphical update.
Huge graphical update.
Graphical update. The infamous, I don't know what the free trial is being expanded to include. Okay,
Yeah,
Stormblood.
they're
Yeah,
putting in
Stormblood.
another.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
Even more content for that free trial. You can play up to, I believe, at that point
That's
it'd be
3
70.
expansions now.
That's
Yeah.
a long free trial.
I believe that would be up to 70 at that point, and you'll have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12-ish, I think, 12 classes, 12 jobs.
They are.
Nice.
Go ahead.
We're getting from Shao and Chat. We're getting a hint from Yoshi that he wore a TMNT shirt.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt. I have no fucking clue what that
Wonder
means.
what that's gonna be. 'cause,
I
yeah,
have
he
no
always gives
fucking clue
those,
what
like,
that means.
subtle
He gives
hints,
a
right?
he gives a hint with his shirts, all the
Yeah.
time.
So what, we're gonna see
Amazing.
Michelangelo and fucking that's he's gonna be a raid
Shao-
boss.
Well, Shao
Could be
was
like a druid type class.
Well, Shao was kind of theorizing that it might be something to do with like art. You remember the artist from
What artist?
what was that fucking top-down RPG that we were talking
Lost
about
Ark.
just barely? Lost Ark, yes.
yeah.
He was thinking it might be something like that.
be.
I don't know. That seems a little.
When you said TME like turtle, like I'm thinking all of a sudden the what's that guy from League of Legends, the Udyr?
Oh dear.
I'm thinking like a druid type I don't know. I'm just bringing, and that would kind of go.
Maybe they're just going to do a collaboration with a crossover
because of the turtles. Okay, I was like, where are you getting fucking Druid from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, well, Druid. Yeah.
Why don't
I understand now?
It could just be a crossover because they are doing a Fall Guys crossover.
Yeah. Which is a weird one.
Yeah, weird.
Crossover.
And then the big news that kind of came out is Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Xbox.
That's huge.
Which is big news. That's
about damn
really
time.
bad.
Honestly,
it is about damn time, dude. Like it's been on PlayStation for.
Wonder if PlayStation is pissed off about that one.
I don't doubt it.
I mean, I don't think they bought exclusivity to that. I think this was Square specifically.
It was just Square, yeah.
Yeah,
holding back
because Square hasn't. Square and Xbox have had bad blood for a minute. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was during the 360 era. They developed bad blood, and it's been. This is kind of like the.
You think this
brand?
Means, you think this means Square's getting bought out by a Xbox and Microsoft?
Buys Square. I swear to God.
I don't think that's happening. I think Square is off the market at this point.
Oh no, man!
I hope Square is off the market at this point, and I hope that this is an olive branch, and we'll actually start seeing more Final Fantasy and Square Enix titles coming to Xbox because that player base deserves to get at the good.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this one a lot. From what I understand, this is like the first expansion that is not based off the like overarching, like they finished that arc of the game with the last expansion. This is like the start of a new arc, correct?
Maybe I will put out there 100%. I am a terrible Final Fantasy player at this point because I have not played the entirety of the last expansion, so I have no clue what happened in the last expansion. I'm pretty sure last expansion pack, yes, was the end of like that era specifically, but I can't. Yeah. So Shelter was saying that last expansion was the main ending of the main arc, or the ending of that main arc. So yes.
So this is the 100%. Beginning of a
this will be a brand new arc. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's exciting. That means that hopefully we'll get enough content out of Final Fantasy 14 that it'll continue like through this arc. And it just goes to show that I don't think they're going to be ending Final Fantasy 14 anytime soon.
Nah.
Especially with the graphical update.
That's what I was about to say. With the graphical update, there's no reason for them to end it. Like, other than to, I guess, bring it to a new engine would be the next step, like bringing it to Unreal 5 or something. But
yeah.
Well, there you go.
I don't see that happening. So
no.
Well, that is it, boys and girls. Unless the quick hit news that we have, which is a very small piece, is that if anybody gives a shit, Threads, which is Instagram's version of X, which was Twitter, lost 50% of is claiming it's lost 50% of its user base.
Nobody was surprised.
And nobody was surprised. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go, guys. Yeah. At the end of the episode, that is it. Episode 93 is in books.
That should be the title is Pre-Patch Podcast episode 93, and no one was surprised.
Yeah, that's a good title. Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As always, we do this every single week, so we'll be back next Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and on Twitch at Pre-Patch Podcast. What
isn't next week the week that you're heading out?
Bill is right.
Bill, yeah, next week I'll be here. It's the week after that.
Okay.
So we'll just be trading off again. Right? I'll be gone, guys. I'll be gone. So have a good week without me.
Everybody takes vacations, but me apparently. Okay. It's okay.
Can't help that you got a broke back, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, so, just take that broke back to a mountain. I
might have to, man.
There you go. But it's always a great show. And if you do miss it, make sure that you go to anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, or any of your podcast apps. You can get us on Spotify. All of our VODs are on YouTube. You can also get our short form content on TikTok and Shorts. And then obviously you can see our content over on Twitch as well. So you guys have been great. Make sure that you stop by all of our channels. Drop us a follow as we all have been streaming. And we'll be doing more Remnant 2, more Baldur's Gate 3, more Diablo 4, all of that kind of good stuff. And then PoE
Armored
Season
Core
3 on the 18th is when that drops. So we will, some of us, if not all of us, will be showcasing that as well. So
heck yeah.
Armored Core.
It's gonna be, yeah, that came out of nowhere, by the way. Like, just dropped out of nowhere. That's like the end of this month, right?
From Software's way, man. They drop a trailer and then 3 months later the game's out.
Yeah, like it's like right around the corner. So so it's gonna be a great time. Make sure you guys stop by and check everything out, and we will catch you guys next time. I need to keep talking because I've got to get the song ready because I haven't got it prepared yet. So all right, now it's ready and we're good to go. Yep.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Deuces.
All right. Bye.
Hasta luego, baby. See ya.